and share it. Okay.
Even if that
Write the
direction is
nuggets from
upside
what
down.
you've learned and share it. We'll be back by 4. By 4. Thank you.
It's not the biggest stadium in the world. Not the biggest players either. But the pursuit of greatness is kind of big enough, isn't it? You don't need an official court, an official net, or official uniforms to be officially great. Greatness speaks for itself. Once it learns to talk. Greatness needs a lot of things. But it doesn't need an audience.
Okay, so I hope you're connected. Now let's do this simple activity, just to show the world that something is happening in the city of Abuja. All right, so please bring out your phones, bring out your mobile phones. All right, and go to where you have that icon for your camera. Yes, you can turn it to your selfie camera, please. Yes. And then someone beside you is sitting beautifully and handsome. So please, you can sit beside that person and then take a very nice selfie, smiling, please.
Selfie time, yeah.
Smiling, please.
Selfie time,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly. Take a selfie. Very good. We're all doing well. Please take a selfie. All right. So when you're done taking the selfie, hello, sir. Can we take a selfie?
But there are great athletes.
Right.
Somehow we've come to believe that.
All right. So when you do that, I hope you're done taking the selfie. Okay. So let's do this. Go to your Instagram handle, post the picture, and do a hashtag. Hashtag YPC conference. Let's do that now. Okay. Are we doing that already? Okay, so the handle is YPC hashtag YPC. Go on Instagram, do a hashtag YPC conference, YPC, or Connect Conference.
Then you can also collect the other person's handle to tag the person. Okay. So there's a cross.
All right, so that's the first tag. Then the next tag is hashtag CC conference. Hashtag CC conference. And then the last tag is Beyond Borders. Hashtag Beyond Borders. I'll take that again. Hashtag Beyond Borders. You can go to Facebook or you go on your Instagram page and do a hashtag CC conference. Hashtag Beyond Borders. Are we doing that? If you've done that, please let me see you raise your hand. If you have done that, let me see you raise your hand. Okay. All right, please, I beg your pardon. It's hashtag CC22. Hashtag CC22. Please, I'll say it again. Hashtag CC22. Okay, that's the first tag. The second tag is Ash Beyond Borders. All right. Ash Beyond Borders. All right, so that's how to tag YPC Conference Africa on Instagram and also on Facebook. Please, are we doing that already? If you have challenge, let me know. You can either do any of the hashtag, either hashtag CC22 or Beyond Borders, any of the hashtags. All right. Please, let's do that. And also go to our Instagram page, YPC Africa, and follow us. Go to our Instagram page, YPC Africa, and follow us, please. And also on Facebook, YPC Africa, and follow us. I hope we're doing that. Please, if you've done that, let me see you raise your hand. Beyond borders, beyond borders, beyond borders. Someone said, I thought you said $1 million. I didn't say $1 million. I said beyond borders, beyond borders.
Like doctors beyond borders. The person that's hearing dollars, flesh and blood didn't reveal it to you, yeah?
Beyond borders, not $1 million. You're the one getting $1 million. Beyond borders. Please, let's do that.
Let's do
Please,
it.
let's do that.
Let's do it.
The world is waiting to hear what you're doing and what you're doing here. Please, let's make people know what's happening here,
What's
please.
happening? Yeah.
Hashtag beyond borders. Hashtag CC22. All right. Please do well to follow us on Instagram at YPC Africa. Okay. All right. All right. Then in the next 4 minutes, the program commences officially. Thank you. Okay, good evening once again, and welcome to the YPC Connect Conference 2022. We are so excited to have you here, and we know you have a swell time. My name is Maria Douglas,
I'm Samuel C. Chuku.
and we'll be your anchor for the next 2 days. Can you please celebrate yourself? Please celebrate yourself.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm not sure we heard very well. She said, "Can we celebrate,
Celebrate
ourselves?" Let's see
ourselves,
how you
please.
celebrate yourself. Come on, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Thank you so much. We want to say a warm welcome to all our esteemed guests and our sponsors, as well as our beautiful audience here. Thank you so much for taking out time to be part of this conference. We really, really, from the depth of our heart, we appreciate your time, we appreciate your effort, and we appreciate you in person.
Very well. So, just some few things before we go in full base. So, guys, can we be together? Everyone together? Thank you so much. So, our friends online will be joining us in a moment, and you know how technological gadgets can be. If the noise is so much, they may not get to hear us. So we'll crave your patient indulgence to just, I know we're trying to connect in line with the spirit of the conference, but we'll just try and turn it down a bit. Then secondly, we've been told that the camera in front is for those who are online. So in case you want to excuse yourself for a few minutes, just be mindful of, you know how we do it now. We'll just bend down and pass, all right? So please feel free, meet someone new and relax. Please tell someone beside you, say relax. Yeah, so relax, relax. Yes, just feel free and relax.
And while you're relaxing, please do well to put your phones on a silent mode so we don't have interruptions. Thank you.
Very well, very well. So, guys, are we ready? You know how we do when we say, "Are we ready?" You say, "I was born ready." Are you ready? No, come on, let's say like people that were born ready. Are you ready? Beautiful, beautiful. So what?
Greatness. It's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift reserved for a chosen few, for prodigies, for superstars, and the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us. Some people are told they were born with greatness. Some people tell themselves.
If greatness doesn't come knocking at your door, maybe you should go knock on its door.
Sometimes greatness is about overcoming insurmountable adversity. Sometimes it's just fun.
Greatness isn't always measured in tenths of a point. It's a bit bigger than that.
Sometimes greatness is something you plan. But most of the time, it's just something you try.
It's easy to think greatness is only something you see on TV. Unless, of course, greatness is watching TV.
Greatness is a scary thing. Until it isn't.
If we think greatness is supposed to look a certain way, act a certain way, and play a certain way, we certainly need to rethink some things.
X is the home of skills for every young Africans. In Africa, in YPC, these are the most important things you need to know. So I'm going to be sharing 5 short facts with you. So we were established in which year? 2017. Okay, thank you. And we have a community of over 5,000 persons on Facebook. So how many of you are members of our Facebook platform? Just 2 persons? Just 2 persons. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this we are in digital age. You should be on Facebook now. Just search YPC, Young People Connect Africa. You're going to see that and join the group. Okay, so we've had 50 plus online sessions with over 2,000 live participants, and we've had over 215 volunteers. You're welcome to the 2022 edition of Connect Conference. Celebrate yourselves. Okay, so some years ago, this YPC was laid on the heart of a young man, Mr. Joseph. You all know him. Okay, so with every joy in you, with joy again, with a bigger joy, help me celebrate the convener of YPC, Mr. Joseph Etim. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Sincerely, I'm really excited to be standing here and to see your lovely faces, knowing that this moment, for some of us, is going to be like a defining moment for us, right? We live in a season where if you don't have a skill, you're stuck, you're frustrated. There is no hope for you. There is no future for you. Now, a lot of people don't get to understand what we mean by having a skill. So when some people will be tempted to live here to go and learn how to bake cake, make bags, and all those beautiful stuff, right? So what you're here for, Connect Conference, we're trying to teach you how to think, how to do stuff at the highest level, what you could do to gain attention of the global audience, right? So if you live, I'm sure a lot of you came from different places in Nigeria. Probably you came from somewhere in Aba, Oka. Like, I'm not saying those places are remote areas or local areas, but I'm just saying that there are levels to these things, right? So if your life is going to change, if you must take your game to the global stage, right? There are skills that if you don't learn, you become a slave. So what we're trying to do here, we're trying to teach you guys, we're trying to teach us how to think as kings. A lot of people don't understand what that does. So the people that are tempted when we have conferences like this, motivational talk again. Kill that mindset, right? If I can make $100 million, right? And I can tell you how to do it. If other persons are calling that motivation, but you can replicate that result, shouldn't you look for the secret than dismissing it that it's just mere motivation? I think I would love that motivation of earning millions every month. Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you love that? There's something that Nee said some time ago. He said, when you are invited for meetings like this, right, one of the things you learn is not just what people say. Because the truth is, in the next 2 weeks, 6 months, a year, some of you are going to forget whatever anybody said or whatever any speaker will say. One of the things that you go back with will be the inspiration to start stuff for your life. Now, hear me. Some of the ideas that would change your life, some of the products, some of the businesses, some of the things that would start up from here are going to be things that you decide to take action on. Now, your life will not change based on what you hear. Your lives are going to change based on the actions you take, right? So while you're going to be listening to the speakers, like some of the speakers, Pastor Philip, Mr. Philip is here, and he's like, when we talk about getting results in the marketplace, he's one of the best in Abuja. John Obidi is around, he's already, some of you, just relax, right? What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter who you're coming to listen to, right? If it doesn't change from here, come somewhere that is just attending big conferences, big conferences, and no result, right? So I'm just inviting you to Connect Conference with a mindset to think like a king. and not like a slave. Not just to listen, to be motivated, but seek to gain clarity. After here, how will my life become? Who am I going to, bet? Does that make sense to you? Some of you are going to learn how to reinvent yourself. Some of the things you were doing before, it wasn't working. You studied for 4 years, 5 years. Probably you were first class in your university. Probably you were third class. Probably like you've done all educationally, but there's something still missing. I'm saying that one opportunity here will change your life. A line, a speaker, somebody you meet from here. So one of the things you must learn how to do, you must learn how to learn from anybody here. I'm so sorry that we don't have spaces for, to take everybody. Everybody is a special guest, right? You don't know who is sitting next to you. You don't know who is the next founder. So one of the things you must do is meet someone, connect. Don't look down anyone. You don't know who is seated next to you. You don't know who is going to be the next person that you saw in Connect conference, and you wished because you saw him wearing a T-shirt, just looking with a pants, and you just think, who is this guy? Who is this lady? Connect. Don't just collect number and go to Facebook. Hello, 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 hello. I keep saying this. Nobody's your dear. DEAR. Hello, dear. Hello, dear. Nobody's your dear. You must learn how to connect. You must learn how to buy attention. Nobody owes you their attention. People are them. They are busy. Hello, hello, hello. For the past 6 months, you've been saying hello. What have you gained? Nothing. Can't you go, hello, my name is Joseph Etim. I met at Connect conference. I heard you speak, and oh my God, the things you said changed my life. And please, this is what I do. I would just love to learn from you. I would like to be connected to you. What means would you like? Don't go and request for number. You see the person's contact, business contact. You send them a WhatsApp, and on a WhatsApp, my name is Joseph Etim. Please, can you save my number? I saw what you're doing on Facebook. Me, I'll not tell you what I'll do, but I'm just saying that. Welcome to Connect Conference. And at this point, I don't want to miss words. I would like to invite our conference to just come and give us a brief introduction of the first speaker that is taking us to the next level. So please, if you have your notepad, if you have your brain, if you have your heart, just bring it close to you. Bring it close to your heart. And please don't miss this opportunity because you don't know what is going to happen. Are we ready to connect? Let's connect. Please welcome them.
Are we ready to connect? Can we say it loud? Are we ready to connect? All right. So right about now, we're introducing the first speaker. Our first speaker is a life coach, a social entrepreneur, an author, public speaker, HR practitioner, customer service professional, and a lean data researcher. He's also certified as a master project manager with the American Academy of Project Management, and also a certified customer service professional. All right, so he will be telling us how to find and live our purpose as young people. We understand that most of us here find it difficult to know what exactly we want to do, and also we don't have people to lead us on what we want to do. So he'll be telling us how to find our purpose, how to live it, and who to meet in order to achieve our purpose. Please, we'll get we're about looking at a citation of his profile. Media team, can we have the profile citation for? Thank you.
He has certifications as a master project manager with the American Academy of Project Management, life coaching, and he's also a certified customer service professional with the Chartered Institute of Customer Relationship Management.
While they work on the sound, please let's make it louder.
In capacity building, youth development, and social enterprise. Agboola is a life coach, social entrepreneur, author, public speaker, PR and HR practitioner, customer service professional, and a lean data researcher. He has certifications as a Master Project Manager with the American Academy of Project Management, life coaching, and is also a certified customer service professional with the Chartered Institute of Customer Relationship Management. As a life coach and social entrepreneur, his experience in capacity building, youth development, and social enterprise. Philip Agboola is a life coach, social entrepreneur, author, public speaker, PR and HR practitioner, customer service professional, and a lean data researcher. He has certifications as a Master Project Manager with the American Academy of Project Management, life coaching, and is also a certified customer service professional with the Chartered Institute of Customer Relationship Management. As a life coach and social entrepreneur, his experience in capacity building, youth development, and social enterprise. Philip Agboola is a life coach, social entrepreneur, author, public speaker.
Good evening, everyone. So when I say YPC, you say Africa. YPC. When I say Africa, you say YPC. YPC, Africa. YPC, Africa. Somebody say, I'm bold. I'm smart. No, I can't hear you. Somebody say, I'm bold. I'm smart. I'm purposeful. I'm intentional. I'm bold. I'm purposeful. YPC, Africa, purpose, 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 purpose. Without purpose, you will live a life of frustration. Without purpose, you will live a life that is full of void. Without purpose, you will just live this life without any form of direction in life. And if I may ask, just one or two persons, what's your definition of purpose, or what synonyms can you give to purpose? Anybody in the house? Your definition of purpose before we kickstart. What do you understand by purpose? And any synonyms or what you understand by purpose, all right? Can I get a mic for him, please, quickly? All right, stand up. Good afternoon. Your name, please, and what you do. Okay, okay. Okay.
So as for purpose, purpose is simply usefulness. Purpose is the use of something. And I tend to relate this with problem. Purpose is about problem to a huge extent. It's about the problem you are solving. So if you are able to identify a particular problem that calls deeply to you, and you are able to position yourself with your skills, your talents, your gifts, your passions to solve those problems or that problem, then you're actually fulfilling purpose.
Okay, so in summary, you said purpose is what? Usefulness. Any other person? Any other person? Okay.
I will briefly explain purpose as the why behind every existence.
The why behind every existence, okay? Usefulness, the why behind every existence, okay?
Stephen Ambulu is the name. I would define purpose as the reason why something is created.
The reason why something is created. I like that. The reason why something is created. Any other person? Any other person? Usefulness, the reason why something is created. Any other person? Purpose? Or what other synonyms can you give to purpose? What other word, just in a word, can you give to purpose that explain purpose? All right? Drive. Why you do what you do. Any other person? Okay. Life assignment. Okay. Life assignment. Any other person? Okay. Intention. Okay. Any other person? Let's take one or two more. You said what? Your passion. Okay. One more. Reason behind something. Okay. Now, let me say to you today, in as much that purpose is relative, or purpose is the core of your existence. Purpose is the core of your existence. the reason why you are living. Purpose is the core of your existence. And I'm going to make a thin line differentiation between survivor and significance towards the end of this session. But I want you to have it at the back of your mind that purpose is the core of what? Of your existence. And your purpose is greater than your problems. Your purpose is greater than your present situation. Your purpose is greater than even what you're doing right now. Your purpose is greater than what you're doing right now, than your present situation, and is greater than your problem. Several years ago, I was going through a hard time. As a matter of fact, I lost everything. No money in my account. Relationship was going down the drain. My wall was coming down. Everything was coming down. But what kept me strong, to stand tall, was purpose. What made me strong, and still making me strong right now, is a sense of purpose. Because without purpose, there is no fulfillment in life. Purpose gives you that fulfillment. Purpose gives you that satisfaction in life. As a matter of fact, the reason why you are alive upon the planet Earth is what is called purpose. And if you don't find that purpose, or better put, if you don't discover that purpose, I tell you, life is going to be boring. You're going to wake up on Monday morning going to work, and you're going to be tired of what you're doing if you've not discovered purpose. And if you look around you, purpose is not far from you. Purpose is not far from you. Your purpose is waiting for your discovery. Somebody say, my purpose is waiting for my discovery. And purpose is progressional in the sense that as you live every day, either you are 30 years, you are 15 years, you are 20 years, you are 40 years, you are 50 years, your purpose is waiting for what? For your discovery. Without the discovery of your purpose, you will enter into the fulfillment of what you are meant to do in life. There is a business side of purpose, but what we are trying to talk about today, right now, is for you to discover what you are covered for you to discover what has been apportioned for you to discover what is tailor-made for you. What is tailor-made for me is different from what is tailor-made for you. What is tailor-made for you is different from what is tailor-made for me. So everybody has got a purpose to fulfill. Somebody say, I've got a purpose. I've got a purpose to fulfill. I can hear somebody say, I've got a purpose. I've got a purpose to fulfill. So what makes you strong? What makes you energized? What drives you on the inside of you, even when there is no money in your bank account, is your purpose. What gives you that motivation? What gives you that drive? What gives you that energy, that impetus? What gives you that energy to scale through every problem is what is called purpose. Purpose. And your purpose is waiting for you to discover. So the discovery of purpose is something that is very paramount to every man, to every woman. Without the discovery of purpose, you are not going to live life to the fullest. You are not going to live life to the fullest. And let me tell you this, your job is not your purpose. But you can find your purpose either in a job. A job can aid you to fulfill your purpose, but your job is not your purpose. What your job makes you to do is for survival, for you to stabilize and for you to survive. But as a person, as a young person, you need to set a goal that you will transit from survivor to significance. Somebody say from survivor to significance. So when you live a life of purpose, that is when you're living a life of significance. But the journey to significance starts from the level of survivor. Not everybody will get a paid job. Some will start as an entrepreneur. Some will start as a social entrepreneur. That is a starting point. So your job is not a purpose. Your job is the gateway, or it will aid you towards the fulfillment of your purpose. So if you wake up every day and you are not satisfied with what you're doing, check it. That is not the essence of your living. What gives you joy? What gives you energy? What gives you motivation is an indication to what you are called, towards your purpose, towards what you are uniquely called or covered for, what you are tailor-made for. So your purpose is what you are tailor-made for. Somebody say, my purpose is what I'm tailor-made for. So research has shown that having purpose and meaning in life increases your overall well-being. For you to reduce your chances of depression, you need to discover your purpose and live a life of purpose. A man who wants to commit suicide is a man who has not discovered what he or she is meant to do upon this planet Earth. Because your purpose, like I said, is greater than what you're going through. Your purpose is greater than your problem. Your purpose is greater than even what you're doing right now, even your present situation. Your purpose. Your purpose. So without purpose, many a man live aimlessly. Without purpose, you live a life that is what? That is confused. So, like I gave a story several years ago where everything was crumbling. There was no money in my account. There was no money to pay rent, no money to eat, no money to do anything. But what kept me alive, what kept my hope alive, was a sense of purpose that was lingering over my head. As I embraced that purpose, moved towards that purpose, everything began to connect. Join myself to a community, join myself to people who inspired another. So everything began to connect, the dot began to connect, and hope came alive in me. The fire came alive in me, and it pulled all of the resources. See, purpose is like a magnet that pulls resources in your direction. Purpose is like a magnet that pulls resources in your direction. Be it human resource, be it financial resource, whatsoever resource that you need to make it happen, purpose will pull that resource in your direction. And somebody will ask me right now that I've been living life. How do I discover? How do I discover my purpose? How do I know what I'm meant to do in life? How do I know my life's assignment? Now, to everyone is relative, but you have a job to do. You have a work to do, to sit down with yourself. Somebody tell yourself, I will sit down with myself. Turn to somebody and say, you will sit down. As a matter of fact, you need to sit down with yourself. The greatest tools that does not need to be far away from you is a pen and a paper or a notepad. For you to do an inventory of your life. What are the things that you can do effortlessly? What are the things that you've done with little or no resource? What are the things that you can do? What are the things that gives you that joy, that sense of enjoyment, that sense of fulfillment? You need to list it down. In those things are what you are called out to do. The money might not come right now, but when you walk towards it and you build yourself towards it, I feel in a matter of time, there will be a flow of money in your direction. There is a difference between what is called talent and what is called skill. Your talent is more like the raw material. Your talent is more like what is crude. Your talent is like the crude oil. Why your skill is your reformed talent. Skill is something that is reformed, but talent is crude. No wonder John C. Maxwell wrote a book that talent is what? Saddle me with the responsibility to go to the graphic. I observe what they do. I observe from the plate making to the lithography to the digital making to press work and all that to the finishing and all that. So I observe my. Despite the fact I don't do all of that now, I outsource it by observing. An informal way of training, refining what is on the inside of you to be. Before I venture into HR and customer service, the in PR, I cannot phantom it. I cannot phantom just volunteering myself and learning by observation. So you learning by observation. One of the way you can transform or convert your talent to become skill. Formal training like what we're having right now, going for training, going for conferences and all that, listening to tutorials on YouTube and all that. Somebody said humorously that quite a number of people have smartphone that is smarter than them. In the sense that the gateway between you and the world is your phone. Deprive anybody of anything, but once you give them internet and a device, that's the gateway to the world. But what do we use it to do? Netflix, quite a number of things. You can do all of that to unwind another, but that shouldn't be your core. So training, formally or informal, so you transfer or you convert your skill, your talent to become what? To become what? To become a skill. So what are the things that interest you? What are the things that give you a sense of fulfillment? Embedded in all of those things is a call, is an indication to what you are called, to what you need to do in life. Somebody say, I'm purposeful. I can't hear somebody say, I'm purposeful. Now, somebody might say, okay, I work 8 to 5. What else do I need to do? See,
In that place of work, you are not working there for the money. You are working there for the experience. The money will come and go, but the experience will stay with you. As a matter of fact, where I'm working right now, I work 8 to 5, but I tell you, if I drop my resignation today, they will multiply my salary by 10. Why? Because of the value you bring. And after work, quite a number of things I need to do personally. Multiple streams of income. The 8 to 5 brings money. The HR brings money. The PR brings money. The customer service brings money. The capacity building training brings money. All of that brings money. Why? Because if this does not bring, the other brings. So you need to develop yourself to the extent that if one door closes, there are 3 or 4 other doors open for you. And that is why you need to pay attention to that interest on the inside of you. You need to place close attention to that sense of fulfillment that you have on the inside of you. It's an indication towards where you're going. And that's why I don't pray this prayer that I want to be like Abel, or I want to be like Mr. Kalu, or I want to be like my sister. No, I want to be me and me alone. All right. So if you pray to be me, that is to say, you're going to go through all of the things I've gone through in life. You're going to go through all of the challenges, the mistakes, the triumph, and all that. I better be me. The way God has fashioned me, or the way my creator has fashioned me, is tailored for myself alone. So I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to be a photocopy. I want to be an original, known for the tonation of my voice, known for my delivery, known for my energy, known for my passion, known for my writing, known for my speaking ability, known for the things I do. I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be Philip, and Philip alone. So your purpose is your brand. Your purpose is what you are known for. Your purpose is your projection to the global stage. So what are you known for? Listen to the voice on the inside of you. Listen to the things that you've been doing from years. Do an audit of your activities all these years and put it down on paper. Document it, because you are meant for more. You are meant for more. You are more than what meets the eye. You are more than what you're wearing. You are more than the clothes you're putting on. You are more than the car you're driving. You are more than your paycheck. You are more than where you're working right now. The world is your global stage. Why confine yourself to a particular locality? The world is waiting for you. And one way for you to showcase yourself to the world is when you pay attention to the inner things on the inside of you that gives you a sense of fulfillment. We are not meant to live a life of survivor. We are meant to live a life of significance. A lot of people don't want to die right now because they've not discovered their purpose. They've not discovered what they are meant to do in life. They've not discovered what they are meant to do in life. At the point of that discovery is the point of your breakthrough. And I've shown you that your interest, what gives you a sense of fulfillment, what gives you energy, what gives you that motivation to forge ahead in spite of the hurdles against you, that's an indication towards what you're called to do in life. And please, you take it to the next level and fortify yourself with training, formal training and informal training, so that that talent of yours that is embedded on the inside of you will become a skill, and the skill will bring the needed resource to come, either in forms of human, either in form of finance and all that. But your talent needs to be reformed to become a skill. Somebody say, my talent needs to be reformed to become a skill. Another way you can discover this is when you join a community. You join a community that will fan what is inside of you to flame. You join a community of young people like the Youth Connect that will bring out the potential on the inside of you, because everyone has got a potential. Everyone has got a potential, but you need a platform for that potential to be exhibited. Potential without platform is not going to see the light of day. So you need a platform, a youthful platform, a good platform, a mentoring platform, whatsoever forum or community or platform. You need it to launch yourself to the next level. So you look out for, you have to be intentional about your life. You go online, you go on LinkedIn, you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you go search for community that you can belong. Because let me tell you, the discovery of your purpose is continuous, and you keep discovering till you die. You keep discovering till you die. The totality of that purpose, you keep discovering till you die. But when you are tending towards the end of your life, there is this sense of fulfillment that you have, that yes, I'm in the right direction. So what community do you belong to? What forum do you belong to? What group do you belong to? Who are the people that challenge you? Who are the people that inspires you? Who are the people that lay demand on that gifting that is on the inside of you? Who are the people that lay demand on that potential that is latent on the inside of you? If there is no one around you to lay demand, to push you towards that, I tell you, your potential is just going to die. No wonder Miles Monroe said, the richest place upon the planet Earth is where? The graveyard. Why is it the graveyard? Why is it the graveyard? There are quite a number of gifts, quite a number of talents that died with people being buried in the graveyard. So you need a platform. And if there is no platform, create a platform. You have the speaking ability. Your bedroom is a platform. Your standing mirror is a platform. If no one listens to you, please listen to yourself 1,001 times. One day, someone will beckon on you. One day, your voice will be amplified from your bedroom to the world. One day, your voice will be amplified from where you are to the world. If there is no platform, create a platform. Don't wait for men. Don't wait for men to approve you. Approve yourself first. Validate yourself first. Talk to yourself. Speak to yourself that I am more than able. I might be here physically, but my state is the global state. If there is no platform, you do what? You create a platform. Don't ever be idle. Don't ever be what? Be idle. Do something. You need to grind. You need to walk. You need to do stuff for yourself. Don't ever be idle. If no one is listening to your song, please listen to yourself. If no one is listening, if no one is hearing, please hear yourself over and over again. Because the best person that can accept you is you. I want you to deliver yourself from the opinions of men. You embrace who you are. You embrace your physique. You embrace the way you talk. You embrace the way you dress. You embrace the size of your hair. You embrace the size of your nose. You embrace yourself. You fall in love with yourself over and over again. Then you are saturated. Then you become a magnet that will magnetize people to come, magnetize resources to come in your direction. Because you are more than what meets the eye. You are more than what meets the eye. You are loaded. Everything that you need to get to the future has been created and deposited on the inside of you. What you need is to cultivate it on the inside of you. Your life is fertile. It's like a virgin land that needs to be cultivated over and over again. And the words you speak to yourself are like the seed, are like the water that you pour on the inside of you. And I tell you, give it some time. It's going to bud. It's going to blossom. And the world is going to hear you. You might be starting from Abuja or starting from anywhere you are, starting from Kogi, starting from UK, starting from Akwa Ibom, wherever you are, in that your bedroom, with your internet, with your device, with your laptop. I tell you, the world is waiting for you. The answers to the world's problem is embedded in your purpose. So if you don't rise up to your purpose, a whole generation is wasted. If you don't discover what you are meant to do, if you don't develop that singing ability, that writing ability, that dancing ability, the ability to articulate, the ability to organize, I tell you, a whole generation is going to waste. This is a clarion call for you to rise up, look inside of you, fortify yourself with everything necessary, both formal and informal, and launch yourself to where you're going in life, because the world is waiting for you. Africa is waiting for you. The global world is waiting for you, because you are a man on a mission going somewhere to happen. Thank you.
Come on, if that was a round of applause, I think it can be louder. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. The reason why we're shocked was because he even finished before his time. You know, in Africa, we're used to having to wait. I'm like, sir, 5 more minutes, but he finished. So we're like, okay, he has finished. What should we do next, right? Thank you so much. I noticed something was burning inside me, and it was not my chest, really, right? It wasn't chest burn. Who felt like that while he was speaking? Something was stirring in. So I know some of us have questions. So we'll just take few questions and we'll count so that questions will not birth forth questions. Wow. Please, if you don't mind, can we put our hands together for him once again? Wow. You could feel the zeal. You could feel it. You could feel it. Thank you so much, sir. So do we have questions? Yes, we'll just count. Okay, we'll maintain an equity here. We have 1 and 2. I saw the second hand. 2, yes. And 3, and finally 3. Okay, someone. So should we give them your slot? Okay, we'll give it to you. So 1, 2, just go straight to the point and ask the. Would you want us to ask all the questions you want to answer on the go? Okay, so just keep questions short and straight to the point. Number 1.
Okay, once again, I'm Chijoke Otiba, a life coach. And the question I want to throw at you, sir, first of all, I must say thank you very much for the outstanding presentation. It was wonderful, it was marvelous. In fact, while you were speaking, I saw a lot of my future self in you, and I would like to appreciate you for that. My question is this. While you were being introduced, I noticed there were a lot of stuff going on in your life. I mean, I noticed you had a lot of stuff going on. And I'm like you. I happen to be a multi-potentialite, and I help other multi-potentialites generate a strategy, create a signature program from the different skills that they possess. But then there's always this bias that's being pushed on us. It seems like if you have so many things going on, you are confused in life, you don't know what you are doing. But then here you're actually talking about purpose, and then you also have different areas, and I know a lot of those areas are not even related. Yes, but how were you able to do this? And then what's your advice for the younger generation? Because a lot of people are being mounted, that pressure is being mounted upon us. Thank you very much.
All right, so my life is a journey. I started as a social entrepreneur in life. And as a social entrepreneur, quite a number of things happen. And if you know, the Nigerian economy is so harsh in the sense that it got to a point, my entrepreneurship was not bringing food on the table. So I think outside of the box. What can I do? I have the skills. I have the competency. I graduated as an electronic engineer. But what I'm doing right now is not even related to that. So I went full-fledged as an entrepreneur, finished from school. While I was in school, I go to Nigerian bureaus to get their posters, to paste their posters. So I started a company called Teco in the year 2006, registered it as a business name, and submitted application to Nigerian bureaus, to churches. So I was pasting posters for Nigerian bureau, 10 naira per one in 2006. And for religious organization, 5 naira per one. So I got people who could help me paste posters and hang banners. So in Lagos, then you see that we can paste posters nationwide. Those were the things I was doing. And when I finished all of that, and I ventured into customer service, took a certification in customer service. And when I finished that customer service certification, I relocated to Akure. And when I got to Akure, I found out that there is no chapter of that institute in Akure. I wrote to the institute that I want to be the state coordinator. And they granted me. They came, they furnished the whole place, over 2 million and all that on percentage. We drafted an MOU and all that. So that's how I started to get certified as a customer service professional. Then after that, life dealt with me again. I went down and I now relocated to the city of Abuja. I started with my pastor for a year and 3 months, and I picked up again, enrolled in HR. He recommended me to his brother for me to work as a consultant. I drafted the company proposal, the company profile. We submitted it to a commercial bank and all that. It got approved and all that. To say, okay, can you work with us as a consultant? We did all of that. So that's how the journey to HR started. And now, I need a financial base. And that's why I got engaged 8 to 5 for me to survive. And that's why I said, you need to survive before significance. But you don't have to remain on that level of survivor. You need to transit from survivor to significant. Even despite the fact I'm doing 8 to 5 work to survive, there's something else I'm doing for relevant, for the sake of purpose. As a matter of fact, it will come to a time, what I'm doing right now, we give up for what I'm really called to do full time, to embrace it. Do you get it now? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Please, a round of applause. Straight to the point and very practical. Very practical. Okay, sir. Would you pardon us if you want to follow up? You could write it down because of the time. Thank you. Thank you. Second person. Oh, has your question been answered? Partly. Okay, so let's get the other part of the question.
My name is Ifeoma Ezekoli. So when you were speaking, you kept hammering on the fact that purpose is what you're tailor-made for. But then I want to ask, is it possible at a point in your life where you feel like, okay, I've known that this is what I want to achieve in life and I've been working towards that path. But then you come to a point in your life where you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore, or I don't feel like this is what I'm made for anymore. I think it's this thing now. Does that mean you were confused previously, or your purpose changed?
You're not. Your purpose didn't change. See, whatsoever thing your hand finds to do, you should do it, right? That's why I say purpose is progressive, in the sense that now, the most set of confused people are entrepreneurs. Confused in the sense that they look confused, but I can doff my cap to them because they're on the pathway of purpose discovery, in the sense that now you can say this is what you're doing. For example, I started with PR. I ventured into HR. That doesn't mean I discarded that. No, it's a learning curve for me. For everything you're going through is a learning curve. And anything, you don't just abandon. It's just like, okay, several years ago, I learned that Dangote is in its 50th curve. Every product get to a point whereby it gets to the peak and it starts to plateau. So what you do at that point of peak is to diversify, to create another curve. Okay, so you can start something today, and after 5 years, you create another curve, you diversify. Not that you are discarding that, but it's a learning curve for you. You can even consult people on that aspect. Not that you abandon that. It's a journey, and you need to keep going. All right, in as much it gives you a sense of fulfillment and you discover another version of yourself. That's why I said till you die, you keep discovering things that you need to do, methodologies on how to achieve it again and again and again. Then you get to a certain age, you now be a consultant that you can consult people in HR, in PR, in customer service, in faith-based organization, in what have you. So everything you're going through right now is a learning curve. It's not a waste of time.
You know, when that question was asked, the first person that came to my mind was the richest man in the world. I was waiting for someone to pronounce his name. Yeah, you know how he has started and all the businesses he has thrived on. So that's beautiful. The curve. Dangote is on the 50th. Which one are you on? I was just thinking, which curve am I? Like, oh guys, this curve even started. So beautiful. So the third person came from. Oh, beautiful. Please clap for that young man. That's beautiful. They've answered your question. Oh, beautiful. The last person. Yes.
My name is Marshall Osораchuku.
Okay.
I am the president of Corazon Speaks.
Okay.
I would like to know, at what point should I give up on my purpose?
If you give up on your purpose, then it's not your purpose. You don't give up on your purpose. What I say, your purpose energizes you. Then maybe you assume it's your purpose, then it's not your purpose. You don't give up. See, you know that some people give up a well-paid job for their purpose because there is a drive. So what will make someone to give up a paying job or relocate somewhere else all because of a passion or energy? Then you don't say you want to give up. Then it's not your purpose in the first place. Then it's not your purpose. There's a burning sensation. There are things I burn for. There are things I can do practically for free. Why? Because it gives me a sense of fulfillment. But that doesn't mean I do all of them for free. Because when you do them for free, people will not value. All right? So, but there are things you can literally do for free. And you wonder why people charge so much on certain things. It's because they put value on what they carry. All right? And that's another side of purpose, for you to place value on what you carry, or else people are going to treat you anyhow. Your purpose is a fire on the inside of you that even makes you not to sleep at night. That want to make you wake up early to write, to type, to do all sorts of things. That you will even trek from Kubwa to Wuse, all in the name of purpose. Purpose is a fire. Purpose is an energy. Purpose is a motivation. That when there is a wall, you want to break the wall. When they say there is no way, you say there is a will here. There must be a way. When there is a will, there is a way. So if you give up, it's not purpose. All right? So you need to go back to your drawing board and know what exactly is your purpose.
A round of applause. Wow. The great Carthaginian general Hannibal mentioned something similar. He said, I will either find a way or I will create one. That's beautiful. But just a note from the question, a guy was saying, I've decided to give up on my purpose. Just tell me when I can give up on my purpose. No, but you answered it.
No, I know. Yes. There's another side to it, in a sense that at a point in my life, my purpose was not paying my bills. So what I did was to opt out for a paid job for survival. Because you need food to drive. You need food to think. So I opted out for 8 to 5. See, one of the things you need to settle down early in your life. Last year, I clocked 40. Now, one of the things you need to settle early in your life is your basic need. House, what to eat, what to wear, and what to drive. Settle that, because those things are not luxury. They are necessity to aid you. If all of these things are not settled, where to put your head, landlord will disturb you. What to wear, the way you dress is the way you will be addressed. What to eat, you won't have strength to even speak. Am I communicating? What to drive, you won't have strength to walk. So you need to settle that early. Housing, feeding, what to wear, what to drive. Settle that early in your life. And one of the surest way you need to settle that is by getting a job to survive. But set a target that in the next 5 years, in the next 7 years, in the next 10 years, this is what I'm transiting into. And that's why I see a lot of people in the civil service, they now retire to nothing. So you need to set a goal for yourself. And goal can be in two for short term and long time. Short term between 1 and 6 months, and long term 6 months and above. So all of these things, see, I have a boot camp coming up. They will project it later. Let me not do all of these things. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And I like the practicality of what you're saying, because I once read a book about quitting your job, and it is burn the bridge. And you know how they say those things, right? Fire your boss. Yes. So one time in my life, I fired my boss. I fired my boss, and it was an exhilarating feeling. But after 3 months, the fire left my boss and came to me. So, but I like practical. You can sense the practicality of what he's saying. Very practical. Okay, let me not enter the realm of this. By the powers conferred on me, I've been told that certain yearnings and cravings of the heart have gotten to the powers that be. There are certain persons that still have certain questions. I think it was, Okay, you have a follow-up question. Okay, let us take the follow first before we follow up. Okay, so we'll take you. Who else? There's a voice in this place that is throbbing. Yeah, there's someone. Okay, let me not enter that realm now. But if you have a question here, no one. The fire was felt on this side. See another hand. Oh wow. Okay. So let's take 1, 2, and the last question. Yeah. So just keep it short and straight to the point.
Thank you for the session, sir. I'm Ayomi Kosi, and I want to ask you, you've gone all the way here. So I want to ask, there will be a point where you feel really tired of all that it is. So how do you unwind? How do you feel afresh? Do you take a break at all?
Why do I sense accusation in that question? Okay. To be sincere, I'm a very emotional person. I cry a lot, not because of not because of anything. See, if someone else go through half of what I've gone through in life, the person might not survive it. And that's why I said, you are tailor-made for anything you're going through. How do I unwind? I make sure that my house, my home, is a place of comfort for me. Once I entered my room and I entered my house and I locked the door, it's a place of comfort. I have different genre of music I play. That I have a Bluetooth speaker that will blast the whole thing. There are some things I do personally. I might not want to reveal it to you because that's tailor-made for me. At times I cry, and in my crying I write. In my crying I type. At times I type letter to God. I type letter to myself. I type letter to my future wife. I type letter to myself, to my future audience and all that. But music, meditation, solace in a place of quietness is where I find my strength. In a place of quietness is where I find my strength. Okay? That is how I unwind, because the world is crazy. But if I can just escape and just get to my house, all right? And if not small that the whole problem is overwhelming, all I just need to do is just to calm down and say, by tomorrow, I will get the solution. Once I relax, I listen to music, I meditate, I pray, then I listen to the voice in my inner self to speak to me. And that's the voice of my conscience. That's the voice of spirit. And that's a place of spirituality. Then I get my strength in that. Then I'm fortified to move ahead. All right.
Please, do you like the vulnerability of this speaker? Please, can we put our hands together for him? He won't cry about it. Don't worry. Put your hands together for him.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying.
Beautiful. So our next speaker is set, but because we've asked, we've pinpointed 2 people, we'll just take your questions. One man's winding is another man's unwinding. That was beautiful. Thank you. So please, just straight to the point.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Deborah Ayine, digital marketer. So I want to ask you this direct question. Have you ever, like, in any point, had this imposter syndrome while transiting from one to another? And then second, how do we as you deal with distractions? Because in finding purpose, I discovered now these days there are a lot of things going on online, making money, making money. Today they're telling you affiliate marketing, tomorrow you hear network marketing, next tomorrow you hear this one, this one. So how do you try to stay focused and leave all those distractions?
Imposter syndrome is something that is very real. It held me down for like 4 years. Keep hearing voice in my head that you are not enough. Keep hearing voice to say, you can't do this. What if you push it out and people don't accept you? What if you post and nobody likes you, or like the post, or like the comment on social media? See, and that's why I mentioned the other time that you need to embrace yourself and love yourself. As a matter of fact, accept yourself and fall in love with yourself. And through that, you can break that syndrome out of your life, because nobody owes you anything. You are the only one that owe yourself, all right? And you owe your world to showcase what is on the inside of you, okay? So you need to talk to yourself and break out of that. And that's why you need someone by your side, community of people, to help you break that syndrome out of your life, because it's common to quite a number of people. You want to take a step, but you keep hearing voices that no, you are not enough. How much is in your bank account? You want to talk about this. How much is this in your bank account? What have you earned and all that? Look at the house you're living in. Look at the clothes you're wearing and all that. So you need to break that thing. How to avoid distraction? Just stay focused. Stay focused on your dream and your vision, all right? Anything anybody else is doing is none of your business. Just stay focused. When you focus on who you are, then you will become the focal point.
Nuggets. Thank you. Wow. Last question. Last. Yes. We say it's half question because you've asked before.
Okay, so I got what you were saying the other time, but I wanted you to land on something. I was saying I'm a multi-potentialite. I do a lot of things. I graduated as a physiotherapist. I do life coaching. I do speaking. I write, and a lot of other things, including digital skills. So, one of the challenges I face almost every time is people meet me, and what they keep telling me is that, young man, you're confused. Stand in one thing, pick a niche. Like this is, and funny enough, it happens to be one word I'm not always comfortable with. Pick a niche. You just have to pick one thing and do it for 100 years before people will know you as an expert in that. So you being someone who has also walked that path and kind of allowed yourself to juggle in the career jungle gym, what advice are you giving to some other people like us?
Okay, like I told you earlier on, see, life is like a triangle, right? It's like a triangle. When you're starting out, the base is so wide, you can test run with a whole lot of things. You can do as many things as possible. But as you grow up the ladder, as you grow, you begin to streamline. Then when you are at the top, you'll be known for just one thing. But at the beginning, whatsoever thing you need to do, please do it. Flex your muscle, do all the hustle. But as you progress, I told you now, I work 8 to 5, but I'm not going to be there for long, all right? I'm not going to be there for life. There are other things I do. So all of these things are going to give way to the one purpose at which I'm called. So at your level now, do all what you can do. Get a job. You are young. Burn your energy. Do everything. So as you progresses in life, it comes narrower and narrower and narrower. Then you are known for one thing and one thing alone.
Please, one last time. Give him a round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're most grateful, sir, for that sincerity and pouring yourself out, really. And we know we'll put these things into practice, yeah? So the next speaker is Blessing Abeng. She'll be showing us one or two things about how to use our tools for profit. There's a catchphrase there for women, but of course, the men that are here, they say we should be supportive, yeah? So we'll supportively take her ideas, right? So please, we'll just listen to her citation. Okay, well, okay, it's on. Okay, it's on.
Abeng is a branding and communications expert dedicated to helping brands identify and communicate the unique identity and tell better stories. She builds brands and communication strategies around products, services, growth, and sales to help brands communicate with your team, target audience, partners, and investors. She has worked with brands across industries in unique capacities, nationally and globally.
So, ladies and gentlemen, she will be joining us virtually, but that notwithstanding, can we please make welcome Blessing Abeng? Our hands together for her. If you clap better, her network will connect very quickly. Yeah. Thank you.
My network was connected, sis, please. Hi, everyone. So lovely to meet every single one of you here. Unlike what the MC said, everything I'm going to be talking about today, yes, would be great for women, but would also be amazing for men. So my speech will not, or my conversation with you will not be gender specific. It would be very helpful for both. As long as you're a youth, you would benefit from it, I can assure you. I'm so jealous that I can't be there presently. I just want to be sure if you guys can hear me. Can everyone hear me? MC, please let me know. Can you guys hear me? All right, so I was given a sign to pause. That's why I paused for a bit. But let's go right ahead. So my name is Blessing, as was shared. That's such a beautiful rendition. To keep it really simple, what I do is that I help people tell their brand stories. And that just simply means that I help you find what is unique about you, and I help you communicate that uniqueness very clearly to whoever your target audience is. And before we go too deep into anything else, let's just talk a little bit about my journey. How did I get here? And I think that this journey might be very beneficial to the person who asked the question about being a multi-potentialite. I actually have written a couple of posts about that. So let's move into how did I get here? I started my life thinking that I was going to become a medical doctor. And my father was really excited. You know, that's every father's and parents' dream in Nigeria. It's like, oh, my daughter is going to be a medical doctor. And this was because my dad had had a very severe health scare, and a doctor was the one that saved his life. So I just kept thinking, I wanted to save lives. I wanted to help people. And in my head at the time, as a child, I just sort of thought that being a medical doctor was the only way that I could make that happen. Now, fast forward a little bit into my secondary school days. I was in science club, arts club. I was writing debates. I mean, I was participating in debates and winning. I would write essays and win. I will go for mathematics competition, but I would still go for cultural dance competitions. And I was just in all these really creative levels with the school. So I was always the one they would call for representation. I even used to act in little plays back then. I know back then, in literature, we used to read all these plays and then we'll cram it and act it. It was amazing. Very great experience. However, when it was time for me to choose between science and arts in my JS3, just really got tricky because when I picked science, the HOD of arts wasn't having it. So there was this tussle in the principal's office where they now finally decided that I was going to be the only science student who would also take some art courses, which included literature. Moving on to my university days, after I am now in university, ready to take a paramedical course, which was biochemistry. I just didn't love, I mean, I did it up until the third year, but by my third year, when I went for IT, I worked in the human sector of biochemistry and I worked in the plant sector. I didn't enjoy my experience, right? And I just like, okay, should I start reconsidering exactly what it is that I wanted to do with my life? Fast forward, I then graduate. While in university, I used to write business plans. I learned how to write business plans. I was so good at them. Decided to take up branding because my creative, like the marketing part of my business plan was so amazing. People used to pay me money for it. So I ended up taking branding courses and then worked in an agency, worked in a startup. And the part of that story that is missing is that when I went back home after I graduated and after NYSC, I told my father, after NYSC, I just shipped all my bag, everything I had, I shipped it to Lagos. And then I told my father in Abuja at the time that, Daddy, I'm not going to be studying medicine again. And it was so heartbreaking for him. I also then told him I was going to be moving to Lagos. And that didn't make any sense just because I had just been offered a job of 400,000 naira. This was a while ago, like a long time ago. And imagine as a university graduate just coming out of school, just finishing NYSC, you were getting an offer of 400,000 naira at that time. It was a lot. So my parents didn't understand why I was turning down a 400,000 naira job because of something called branding, and it wasn't even popular then. But I made a contract with my dad, and I said, just give me 2 years. If after 2 years, I don't have anything to show for it, I will come back and we will just go. At least I already had biochemistry certificate now, so we just carry the certificates, go back to medical school and say, let me continue from 200 level or something. So that was the story. The beautiful part of this story is that I never moved back to Abuja. I didn't have to because I made it. I succeeded. And I learned the biggest lesson, I learned the biggest lesson at the time, which was that you can make people quiet with results and success, right? So everybody wants you, like my parents, and now I know that a lot of African parents, all they want for you is your success, is that you would not be an embarrassment to them, is that they want to be able to brag about you and know that they don't have to worry about you dealing with any consequence. And so when you think about it from that perspective, you see that they have really great intentions, but the only way you can shut them up is with success. And I'm so glad that I was able to pull that off. So now, why am I telling you this story, and what am I defining as success beyond just the freedom that comes with the life that I currently live right now? I've been able to sell a business. I was able to exit a company that was bought by Flutterwave. I was able to work in a couple of multinationals. I earned very good salary at that time. And then, I went on, founded my own company. After finding that company, sold it, founded another one. And then now I'm the co-founder of a nonprofit. And what we're doing there is we're helping other people make money for themselves by empowering them with tech skills. And all of this journey really taught me that the most important thing in life is showing up. And this is where I think I have all the lessons for you. I wanted to tell you that story so you could see that it's very possible for you to make the life that you want. And the very first thing I want you to know at the back of your mind is that the life that you want is possible. Let's even do like a quick test, right? Imagine what you want to earn by the end of the year. What is the number, like the ideal, in fact, not even the end of the year, what's the ideal number of money that you would want to earn at the end of the year? Please write it down in a notepad or on your phone. Just write it down. No matter what that number is, just write it down. I'll give you a couple of seconds to write it. Okay, great. I expect that you've written it by now. So multiply that number by 10. Okay. Multiply by 100. All right. Now, one last time. Multiply by 100 again. The figure that you're looking at, does it make sense to you? You feel like, is your mind telling you, I don't think that, I don't quite think that this amount that I've written, blessing, are you giving the look? Blessing, what is this amount? All right, so let me tell you why I just made you do that exercise. It's because at the back of our mind, we have things that are like mental blocks. And those mental blocks tell us that we cannot earn more than a certain amount. You cannot, this amount you've written, how? Where will it come from? Where is it gonna, how would it happen? All of those questions are in your head. You're asking yourself, how is this possible? Blessing, is it really? Are you sure? And those are very valid questions. Here's the thing, no matter what you think, that number that you've written, somebody's already earning it. And somebody's probably already earning it every month. So if there's somebody else in the world that is earning that money, let me shock you. Which day was that? I found not it wasn't recently, a very long time ago. I found out that not a very long time ago, but a while ago, I found out that C Ronaldo earns €1 million, about €1 million minimum every week. Like about €1 million every week. And that's not the whole earning that he's earning. It's just like one of his money channels, one of the channels that are paying him, minus the other things that bring money. I found out that there are people who make $1 million every day. And I'm not to say that your dreams have to be based on money. What I'm trying to say is that the first place to start when it comes to showing up is your mindset. You need to be able to know that the thing that you want for yourself, the goal that you have set for yourself is possible, that you can actually achieve it, that it is within reach, that there is somebody else in the world that is already doing it. So do you want to be a medical doctor? Do you want to study in Harvard? Do you want to become a US citizen? What is it that you want? Somebody has already done it. So maybe the beautiful thing you can do is Google who is somebody that has done it? Who, you maybe ask a group of people, like, who is somebody that has done it? So even tweet randomly and say, who is somebody that has done XYZ? If you don't find somebody that has done it exactly, you find somebody who has done something close to it, and you can jump on top of their success and make it happen for yourself. So don't limit yourself by yourself, because already in your head, you said you cannot do it. So for you to do it now, how? When you don't even believe that you can do it, right? So the first thing you need to do is understand, believe, and truly, truly believe that the life that you want is possible. So that your subconscious doesn't stop tricking you out of particular successes. If a couple of 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed that the money that I'm earning now is something that I could earn. 5 years ago, I could, in fact, 2 years ago, I didn't believe that the amount that I had in my bank account was possible for me. But I've seen that it's possible. I've seen that the life that you want is possible. There are people who just made money from doing one investment just because you know it's possible. And let me tell you why this possibility thing is really important. So, because sometimes there are opportunities you will see that will scroll through your TL, but you by yourself will just tell yourself, I can never, like, it can never be me. It's not possible. Or when you hear like, oh, somebody is earning this, or somebody did XYZ, you tell yourself, it's not possible now. How did the person do it? What? Just through those limits away. That's the first thing, because those are the things that are going to hinder you from showing up. If you know where you're going, if you know what it is that you want, if you know now that the things that you want are possible, that this world that you're working on is yours and you're the main character in it and everybody else is just acting as a supporting character, then you begin to do things a different way. And there are people who are going to tell you, oh, no, it's not possible. It doesn't make sense. It's your limiting belief. That's all that's holding you back. So if there are people that have gone from being waiters, if the people that have gone from being waiter to being something else, like superstars in Hollywood, or somebody that has gone from being a poor person to being to a different career trajectory, all of those things are possible. You can build the life that you want. And I'm beating on this particular part because number one, your mindset is the most important thing. Number two, do the work, right? And in fact, before I talk about number two, doing the work, let's change number two to be self-aware. And being self-aware means you're going to reflect, you're going to sit down and ask yourself very important questions. Questions like, what do I like? What do I not like? What do I enjoy? What do I not enjoy? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are things that I enjoy doing? What are things that I am passionate about? And write them all down. You don't have to sort of limit yourself. Write everything down. What is it that you're good at? Write it down. What is it that you enjoy? Write it down. What are your strengths? Write it all down. What is it that you have knowledge about? Write it down. If there's something in your mind that you've sort of mentally put together and you're like, okay, I feel this way about myself, but I'm not quite sure. But write it down. Still write everything down. Write down 5 adjectives you use to describe yourself as well. Right? Write all these things down. The reason why this self-awareness experience is very important is because if you know yourself, or if you have a good understanding of who you are and how you are evolving, it makes it easier for you to not be swayed by what other people are doing. Right? So let's talk more about that. What do I mean? When in your journey to be self-aware, what you're trying to discover. Now, I should highlight that who you are is very difficult to pin down. And that's because you are in this swing, in this pendulum between who you were and who you're trying to be. So just by the moment that you have decided that this is who I am, you're already changing because you figured out things about yourself that you don't necessarily like that you want to do, you want to change, or things that you really, really like that you want to double up on. So ask yourself questions like, what do my friends ask me the most questions about? What's interesting to them that I do? What would they ask me for help for? Write all those things down. Reach out to 5 friends and tell them, describe me in 5 adjectives. One other test that I love to do a lot is that I tell my clients and even some of my friends who come to me, I'm like, go to 16personalities.com. And anybody here who has ever listened to me talk, you probably have heard me say, go to 16personalities.com. It's difficult to articulate who you are. So when you do the test, it might show you a couple of things. Some you might agree with, but at least you will learn how to articulate the that you also do not agree with, right? When you go through the self-awareness process, you have enough time to reflect on what you think your skills are, what you think you're knowledgeable about, what you learned in school, what you learned by experience, what you think you can do, what you think, okay, I need to improve on this one. You would have all of that information at your arsenal. You would also be able to make goals for yourself and say, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to be. So now you will now be able to do the number 3, which is doing the work. Right? And doing the work means you have to learn, but you also have to practice. I don't think that learning, and this is a story I share all the time, and I've been sharing it since lockdown. Please don't get mad if you heard it before. But during the lockdown, I baked bread, and let me tell you why. So, during the lockdown, everybody was like, oh, COVID. So me, I was really scared. I was like, let somebody not cough inside my bread that they are baking. Let me bake my bread by myself. I don't trust that the heat that they will use in the oven is enough to kill the coronavirus. I don't want anybody to bake my bread. Let me bake my bread by myself. So I picked up Google now. I was Googling. I was like, oh, how do they bake bread? I was seeing recipes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. It's like, you don't mean it. Bread is easy like this to make. Why have I been spending money? So really feeling myself. I baked the bread though. After baking that bread, believe me, it didn't take me 5 minutes to bake the bread. The recipe and the videos that I watched were like 5 minutes. But the baking of the bread itself took over an hour. By the time I was done, it came out really correct. I don't even remember if we took pictures or not, but I know that the bread finished fast because I was really good. So because this bread came out nice, I was now proud. I was like, I can bake bread now. Nobody should be talking to me anyhow again. I can bake bread. And that's how I decided to bake the bread the second time without a recipe. Do you want to know what happened? The bread burnt. It didn't get done inside. It was inedible. We trashed it. It was a waste of good 1 hour plus. What did I do? And that was what was different, right? I now had new questions that I didn't have before. By doing, you are able to find new questions that you didn't have before. So and it's not enough to find the questions, but you have to ask them, right? Because what if I'm going to teach you now? I'm going to probably say it in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and I'm done. But for you to go and practice it, it might take you 1 year to practice, 2 years to practice, 3 years to practice. By the time you're done practicing, you might have new questions. When you have those new questions, don't put it in your chest. Ask it. Come to me, DM me. Ask. I will answer you. It might take me a while, but I'll answer you. DM me. If you can't DM me, Google it. Ask someone else. Ask your new questions, right? Take those new questions that you have. My own new questions at the time were, why did my bread burn? And it did not still get done. Is that what's going on? You speak to me. And that's how I checked. And I found out that I had poured cold milk in my yeast. And yeast always requires a warm liquid for it to be able to react and swell and things like that. I also realized, okay, the type of oven I was using is probably different from what the person who I was copying, who I would have copied. I didn't do one thing before the other thing. I really learned from the process. So by the third time, fourth time, fifth time that I was baking the bread again, this time with guides and recipe, I got better. By the 10th time, you can see I can bake different types of bread now, and I'm proud of myself. All this to tell you that you're not going to get it right the first time, or you might get it right the first time. You might not be able to replicate the success. So it's important for you to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice as much as you can so that you can get the skills that you want for yourself and you can truly, truly learn. Learning is part of doing the work. Don't get comfortable with where you are now. Take those skills and make it into something bigger, right? And when you go from that, in terms of the way I think about it is that whenever I am offering a service, whatever skill that I have is a service. Me talking is a service. I'm doing it to help somebody else's life be better. Don't carry your skills and keep it in your chest. It's not going to help anybody there. Just imagine that somebody had the cure for COVID and they were keeping it, or had the vaccine solution and they were keeping it in their pocket, they didn't share with anybody. All of us would still be on lockdown and more people would be dying, right? So every time you hide your skills, what you're doing is that you're somebody else who needs the solution, you're not showing up for them. And that's painful because that person just needed your solution to cure their problem. Just imagine you had headache, but you didn't have Panadol to take. That's not fair. So always think about it from that perspective, that by using your skills, you're serving, you are helping somebody else's life be better. It doesn't mean you shouldn't charge for it. Charge. It likes to be better. Collect money. It's okay. But also understand that whatever service that you're offering, whatever skill that you're showcasing is coming from a place of service, right? Now, in doing the work well, practice, as I said, learn, as I said, experiment. And I can't overemphasize the experimentation part of it. The thing about experiments is that you're not trying to be right, you are trying to discover. And that's the difference between how you would perceive failure from success. When you do an experiment, they're not trying to, and I don't know how many people are science people, when you mix two things, yes, of course, you're hoping, something comes out of it. But if something else comes out of it, you'll be fascinated. I'll be like, so why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did this happen? It's a discovery process. A lot of things that have come up have been by mistake. Excuse me, but Viagra was a mistake. It was supposed to be it was just a discovery people stumbled upon. So there are other amazing examples of things that people were mistakenly when you remember he was looking at the stethoscope. He was looking for a star, but he then discovered that the earth was not round, it was spherical. So these are different things that happen when you're living a life of experiment, like when you're living a life to discover as opposed to being right. So always prioritize experimenting over trying to be right, and that would sort of limit, or it would change perspective on failure. So now that you have done the work, what's the last and what's the most important thing you need to do next? It's showing your work. It's not enough to do the work. You need to be able to show the work, right? It is that showing the work that would make way for you. In your mind, you think that you're amazing at what you're doing, and if you just do it and you do it in your pocket, everybody's going to know. But that's not the truth. The other day, I think Google gave Ingressive for good $250,000 to be able to sort of, as a contribution towards the work that we were doing. And I mean, it had happened for a while. I didn't say anything. The day that I tweeted about it and I said, oh, wow, Google just gave us other people started calling me to say, oh, how can we give more money? How can we do this? How can we do that? Imagine I had just closed my mouth and kept it in my pocket and I didn't say anything, all those extra opportunities may not have opened up. Why am I sharing this with you? is because I believe that it's very important for you to be able to share your work, for you to tell the world this is what you're doing. And it's great to build in the open. But while you're doing that and when you're sharing your work, please, from the very get go, define what it is that you're going to share and what it is that you would never share. By sharing your work, it doesn't mean that you have to share your personal life. By sharing your work, it doesn't mean that you have to put your face out there. There are so many ways that you can share your work without putting your face out there. One of my favorite examples is Sia, the musician, SIA. She has been singing on our TV screens. She has videos, she has everything. But people don't know who she looks like. She just know what she looks like. Nobody has an idea. We just know that whenever we think of Sia, is one girl that we've never seen her face before, but we fringe. One color white, one color black. So you can do whatever work you're doing. You can show it off. You can show off your skills without necessarily being in front of the camera. All you have to do is either you share what you're learning, share what you have done, share what you're doing, share the impacts that you've already had, share the testimonials of the people that have experienced your amazing service. There's so many ways to go about it. If you're even struggling, share what you know. Share what you know. Because another thing that I've noticed is people underestimate what they know and overestimate what everybody else knows. It's like the people who I shared a video to my community, my email community the other day, and I said, see, this woman just got 10 million views. 10 million people are trying to watch her figure out how to boil an egg. It means that 10 million people, or maybe 6 million people, do not know how to boil eggs. Who would have thought? Boiling egg is supposed to be obvious. And I'm very sure that if we Google how to boil water, you'll see contents on it. So stop assuming that everybody knows everything. When I first started my branding career, I had assumed that everybody knew what I was talking about. Imagine my shock when I got into a group where I was supposed to be learning and I found out people were asking very simple questions that I could answer. It's like, so people didn't really know this thing, right? And I came back on my own and I decided that, you know what, I'm going to do a course. When I did that course, only one person paid. Nobody answered me. And I had to go back and reflect and say, you know, why everybody knows that I'm good at this thing. CEOs of different companies that I had worked with at the past were recommending me, but I'm guessing what had happened was people went to my Instagram page, people went to either my LinkedIn page or whatever social media pages I had at the time, and they couldn't see anything about me or the work that I knew or anything that I had done. They could only see maybe me enjoying life in Zanzibar, me enjoying life in another place or eating one food or the other. There was no information about the work that I was good at. And so I changed that for 30 days, only 30 days. For 30 days, I changed that completely. And within those 30 days, I came back and I said, you know, I'm doing another course. It sold out in less than 24 hours. I didn't even have to blink an eye. I didn't even have to promote it anywhere. I just posted it on that one page. And there were so many people who were interested. So please, please, and please don't be scared to show your work. Don't feel shy. It's okay for people to critique you. You don't have to take it to heart. And to just close all of this that I have said, and it would just be an answer to the person who asked the question about being a multi-potentialite. You don't have to. The thing about niching, when people tell you to niche, you can be your niche. Like you yourself as the individual can be the niche. People might just want you because of the spice that you add to the thing that you do. And let me explain niching in that perspective. If you're a great writer who also knows how to do data analytics, for example, there was a lady who reached out to me and she was like, oh, Blessing, I'm an accountant, but I just learned design during the lockdown. I've been told I should niche down. What should I do? And I really like to talk as well. And I'm like, why do you have to pick one? Have you thought about marrying all of them together? How about, like, there are not a lot of accountants. Accounting is very number driven. What if you're the accountant who can design the numbers and make it beautiful? What if you're the person who can create aesthetically pleasing financial reports? What if that's you? Or what if you're the accountant for graphic designers? What if you are the graphic designer for accountants? What if the amazing thing, now that you like to talk, what if that's the thing you now use to express it? Now, don't think that because you like to talk, you have to be a radio presenter. I like to talk, as you can probably hear now. I do. When I'm talking, I like to talk. So if I'm already talking and I'm already sharing what I can with you, I don't think that I need to be a radio presenter or anything else to do that. All I have to do is take the skill that I have already learned or the thing that I've said that I want to do and use that as a channel to reach you, to teach you, to share with you. So not all of your skills have to be your primary skill. Not every skill has to be the main skill. It doesn't have to be like, this is the thing that I must do. This is the one thing I'm sticking with. I have 4 strategies that I say. You could do the Rihanna strategy. Rihanna's strategy was simply Rihanna, starting off as a musician, for example, and I hope this sticks with you. But Rihanna starting off as a musician, and then she expanded into other things because we had trusted her for one thing. So we knew Rihanna as a musician. And so when she became an actress at some point, we're like, Rihanna as an actress. We transferred the trust we had built with her as a musician into acting. So now she was acting and a musician. Then she said, you know what? I want to be Rihanna, the business mogul. She now came up with Fenty. Went from Fenty Beauty to Savage Fenty. She's expanding, right? But because she had shown us that she had a great foundation, we're just carrying that trust transfer across. So that's possible. The other thing you can do is say, okay, no, I don't want to be that. You can then take the Chris Brown strategy. If you like writing and singing and dancing and all of this, like Chris Brown knows how to dance, act, draw, sing, perform. There's so many things he can do. So what does he call himself? An artist, a performer, right? A performer. He calls himself an artist and a performer. So it's possible that everything that you can do, you can put it under one umbrella and make that your thing, make that the thing that you are known for. The other thing you can do is the Kanye strategy, where you can separate one from the other. You could say, I am Kanye, and this other thing I'm doing is easy, right? You separate it. One is a company, one is you as an individual. That also exists in a spectrum. The final thing you can do is have a primary skill and use the other possible skills and make them supporting skills. Finally, I wouldn't be kind if I don't tell you that you deserve to earn from what it is that you're doing. Just know exactly who your target market is. Understand that and know the difference between your audience and your customer. Your audience is somebody who needs what it is that you're offering and all of those extra things that people tell you in terms of age, demography, and whatnot. But the difference between your audience and your customer is that your customer needs it, is willing and able to pay for it. And by willing and able, I mean Dangote is able to pay for pure water, but he's not willing. And so if somebody comes to you and says, oh, but why is your own 10K? Your mates are charging 1K, you need to be able to say, oh, okay, that's fine, no problem. Thank you so much for this feedback. I am happy to refer you to somebody else. You don't have to feel bad, you don't feel guilty, all of that, because that person is not your customer, but might be your audience. And you can leverage that audience as a place where they can, what's it called now? Become evangelists for you. Evangelists by sharing resources that you share for free on social media. Don't be scared to outteach the world. Share as much as you know. Nobody's going to steal it from you because you are the unique selling point. Nobody can do it the way you have done it. No, you're the thing that makes it special. Somebody else will come and teach you branding, but they won't sound like me. John Obidi will teach you branding and he will sound like John Obidi and you will like him as John Obidi. Do you understand? So it's possible. It's possible for people to like more than one person. Don't feel pressure that, oh, somebody's going to steal me from. It's not possible. You're unique, you're special. And I want you to remember that. In terms of tools, I have a resource and I think I'll share that with the Connect conference team so they can share the resource with you. I have a lot of resources that I'm always recommending. You could also find it on my Twitter as well at Blessing Abeng _. I'm always happy to share whatever it is that I know. And I hope that, this helps you. This whole thing that I have shared helps you. If there are any questions, I'm available to answer. But please, please, please remember that the life that you want is possible and don't be afraid to show your work. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure talking to you all. So I'm ready to take questions. Are there any questions? I would be happy to take them. Oh, please, can you repeat the question? If you asked the question, I missed it. I couldn't hear you. Is there a way to enable that I can hear this person who is talking? My people at Connect conference. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph.
So my question is this: while now, and I've seen what you've done from Disha to Ingressive for Good to currently doing. And if there's one thing I understand about what you're doing is that you understand the build a business or a solution that can attract investors, something you could sell out to the global community. So my question is this, right? For many of us, especially, I personally started out from a point of, having this break exposed to higher level of tools and strategies. All right, you just wanted to put something on where we start living that survival mode, and you now have to you have to build it in such a way that it can appeal to the global community. You need to. How do you go about things like that? How do you put yourself in the right community? How do you get access to the right? You can build something that could attract. You said Google funded you. How do you build stuff like that? That's just my question. Thank you.
Wow. This was like the request. I heard, how do you get connected to the right community? I'd rephrase that to say, how do you get connected to the right network, right? How do you build the right network where you can access that level of global reach? The second one would be, how do you become part of a community, right? And then the third one would be, how do you, there's a question you asked, oh my God. Okay, anyway, let me take it one after the other. So the first one was, how do you build a network where you can attract such funding? Number one is definitely by sharing your work, but number two is by collecting data. Data in terms of stories, but data in terms of numbers as well. You want to be able to back up what it is that you say that you know how to do, right? In community building, one of the things that I learned is that if you think first about service and you think first about how do I help someone else, or how do I empower another person, it's easier for you to sell what that you like, the problem or the solution that you say that you're providing, right? So with Disha, for example, it was us providing a solution, even if it was a company. A solution like, how can we help people build a one-page site in less than 15 minutes? How can we make it as easy to use, as easy to build a website as it is easy to build Instagram? As it's easy to use Instagram. And that was important because at the time, until now, it's really difficult to build a website. And now people are just sort of fast moving and they're not really thinking about, oh, I want to build a website. They don't want a gay website. They just want something that, when you click my blessingabeng.com, you can see something. They don't want it to be too deep and too serious. And that's why we created Disha. Weirdly enough, another way to build your community by listening to the community, because at the time that we had built Disha, it wasn't supposed to be a one-page site. It was supposed to be a link in bio, but we had so many interesting features and everybody was now using it differently. So we're listening, we were watching, we're like, okay, if people are using it this way, how can we empower them to use it even better? And by the time we empower them to do better and use it more, we could now brag and be like, site. And then we could take that information to investors and say, look at this one-page site. But here's the unique thing, even with Ingressive, we are giving opportunities, we are creating opportunities for people to do XYZ, whatever it is that they're doing. People are learning how to do design, people are learning how to code, people are learning data analytics, and learning all of these things. Now, do I have the numbers to prove that these things are happening? And don't be scared. Even if it's 5, even if it's 10, if it's 100, if it's 1,000, just be strong. Like, have the information. These 5 people, what is consistent across them? Are they all a certain age or within a certain age bracket? Are they all millennials? Is there something that is unique about them? Why are all of these particular people gravitating towards this thing that it is that we're doing? And the impact that we promise, because again, everything about branding is a promise, fulfilling the promise that you have made, right? So that promise that you made at the beginning when those people were joining the community or the company or whatever, imagine that you bought water and the basic responsibility, basic promise of water is to quench your thirst. Imagine you bought water and the water is it will be somehow, or imagine that you are eating beans, but the beans now taste like rice. It's very somehow to ensure that the promise that you have made, by the time the person is, when you are reporting is consistent with the promise, right? So you will want to be able to say that when we looked back, we were able to do X, Y, we were able to train X number of people, we were able to do this number of people, this number of users, this number of users joined, number of users were present, and then you put all of that data together. After you have shared all of that big data in terms of numbers, you come back and you also share unique stories. It's like, how did this person's life specifically change? We have a lady who used to sell soap on the street, and she was only earning 20,000 a month. Now, after she took a training for 6 months with Ingressive for Good, she ended up with a job as a software developer, as a junior software developer, where she was earning 200K. And from the 200K, she has grown. Do you get? We tell those stories to our donors. We show them the numbers. We show them the impact. We show many more stories that we have. It's easier for them to say, okay, that's great. The next thing they will look at is your structure. Now, which is the first question you ask, like, how do you go from survival mode to building a structure for your business? So when you're building, it's so easy, it's very easy for you to fall into the trap of treating your business like it's your personal business as well. But the first step you can take towards that is separating the finances, knowing that blessing money is different from company's money. Open separate accounts for it. In fact, if you go the extra step of registering the business, it makes you very accountable. It is possible for you not to do it alone. Try not to do it alone so that you can be accountable to somebody else as well. By the time you start remitting taxes, you start doing all those things that are required of you, your brain starts telling you, because it's by action. Me, I believe that action is the thing that spurs you into more action. So if you take little steps, the steps become even bigger, right? The action that you need to take become even bigger. You become even more responsible. So you could also ask mentors. You could ask people who have built businesses ahead of you and say, what is it that is important that you set up as a structure? It's different to have a freelance, freelancing is very different from business. With business, you are accountable, you're responsible for salaries, you're responsible for, things that are so much beyond you. It's not just you as a consultant. So have a conversation with yourself and say, am I ready for business? Business not for everybody. Am I ready for business? Or do I want to remain a freelancer? Also set your prices, right? Figure out what is it that are my operating costs, and operating costs are like, how much are we spending on fuel, how much are we spending on rent, what are we spending on what's it called, our staff, how many people are we paying, what does it really cost for us to offer the service that we say we offer. And don't downplay anything. Yes, your laptop is your laptop, it's costing something. So think about all those things, right? And factor it into your operating cost. That way you'd be very conversant with the amount that it is you want to charge. The last thing I would say about that is that when I was building very early on, I had a business even before Disha. And one of the business that I built, I remember that I couldn't, so I had a goal for myself. I had a financial goal for myself, but I remember that we couldn't be charging only to, we're targeting this type of clients. So when we charge only that kind of amount, there were some people who couldn't afford what it is that we were giving, but they still wanted more. I on my own chose, and there were times that, I have to also pay salaries, right? And I needed to pay the salaries for the people that were working at the time. What I come up with? I came up with what I call a ladder structure, and I also applied it even in monetization for my community. I'll explain it in terms of community, and I'll explain it in terms of business. So it means that we were offering, as a person, for example, I was trying to, a friend of mine wanted a typewriter. I looked for typewriters everywhere, looked for typewriters, and I finally found. When I found the typewriters, I gave it to my friend, and my friend just like, oh, why not sell this thing? I have a couple of other friends who want typewriters. So I was able to procure a couple of typewriters. That was not my primary business. I would never come out and say I'm a typewriter seller, because I am not. I only did it like for a short period. But during that short period, it was able to give a little bit of financial boost that I was able to use to pay my salaries. So I wouldn't say this is what we do now. We're now officially a typewriting business. No, I would use those things as ladders to be able to build the actual type of business that I want for myself. And I hope that helps you. And then in terms of community, it's like you giving ebooks. So right now, my services are very expensive just because of the amount of time that it takes me. So I can only take maybe 2 clients in a quarter. And when I do those things, I charge a very high premium for it. However, I know that normal people here and there cannot afford that premium that I charge. So what do? I create a book will be 5K. I do cost will be like $100, all of those things. It just was a small money. But those are ladder steps, right? I'm making small money from it, but it's also helping my community build to a level where they can afford my service. So coming back to how do you build a network? Number one, go for events like you are now. Make friends with people and genuine connection. Don't just go around and be giving your card. Really, truly listen. I went for an event last week and I only spoke to 5 people and I was okay. I even think I spoke to Lamide Johnson. That was the first time I was meeting Lamide face to face, even if we had connected online, right? And I focused on my 5 people. I didn't go outside of that. But the thing that happened was we formed deep connections because I was really listening. Oh, what do you do? And I was really listening. The more you listen, the more you can offer help, the more you can be present for someone. Don't be that person at networking events that's always talking, oh, this is what I do, this is what I do, take my card. Listen, then have a conversation. In your conversation, you can talk about who you are and what you do, but don't over talk. It's like dating. If somebody just only talking, they're not listening, taking something. It's very annoying. So do that. Ask for referrals. If you see somebody on LinkedIn that you have a mutual friend that can connect you, let that friend connect you. Don't just jump into it and be like, oh, hey, hello, because the person who refers you is important. Another thing that can help you with building your network is really just social media, right? Showing your work, having genuine connections, commenting genuinely on people's posts. They notice. Don't wait until you need somebody before you become their friend. That's really important. Don't bond and separate amicably without destroying the whole relationship. What else? What else did I like? What other networking thing has helped? And whenever people refer you for stuff, if you can't do it, you can refer somebody else. But always be valuable. Be that person who is useful. Where if somebody does something for you, you too can also and let me not say you two can always be that person who feels like they can offer value, irrespective of where they are. You can be able to refer someone to something, you can offer them something that might be helpful, you can offer them a listening ear, advice, just be useful, be valuable. The more valuable you are, the more you attract people to your side. And yeah, I feel like these things would help you in terms of, but referral, that referral part is very important. And when they finally refer you, please come correct. Don't destroy the relationship. Yeah, and keep in touch. People will grow, right? Me today, you don't know. Next year now, I'll meet Obama, and then you won't be able to talk to me. I mean, you'll be able to talk to me, but my price will be high. Understand? Yeah. So, if there are any more questions, I'm available
Right.
to take.
Thank you so much, our brand visibility coach. Thank you so much. That wraps. Thank you. And I think one of the things she said is beyond acquiring, beyond having knowledge, it is important to put these knowledge to practice. Experiment. While experimenting, you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to do what? Good. So let's discover ourselves, and I'm sure we've learned here into practice, and we'll be sure for success. Thank you. Come and celebrate. All right. So she talks about sharing sharing what you're doing, and that leads us to the next session. Our next in us the power of storytelling to grow business, and let's have a citation.
Lamide Johnson is a and teacher trained in business and entrepreneurship from Kellogg School of Management University, Illinois, USA, and just recently started international Borough University, United Kingdom. Lamide has helped entrepreneurs make changes using the power and influence of storytelling. He has authored 4 books, Story Hack, An Entrepreneur's Guide to Mastering the Business of Storytelling.
Let's make welcome Lamide Johnson.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Can someone just confirm in the comment section, the administrators, if you can hear me clearly? Just want to be sure that audio is good. Okay, fantastic. I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing lots of feedback. Can that be resolved? And just give me a sign if I can go ahead. Just if you can send me a text on WhatsApp. If you can do this backstage, I just need to be sure everyone can hear me loud and clear, and I hit the ground running. Stopwatch. I'm still hearing some feedback. Okay, I can see the comments on YouTube. For those on YouTube, can you just let me know if you can hear me? I'm hearing lots of feedback, please. Good to go. Okay, fantastic. Great. Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's such an honor to be here. Super excited to be speaking here today. My name is Lamide Johnson, and I Salem King. It's such an incredible time. Every time I have to speak with young people, it gives me such joy, it's such an honor, right? I'm blessed to be speaking here. Look, Joseph has sent me this message about showing up today. I think that's close to 6 months ago. 6 months ago, and this has been one of the best preparations for me because it gave me ample time to plan, ample time to prepare. Joseph, thank you very much. Joseph and your team and your amazing team. Thank you very much for being the best at this. Boss Philip, thank you so much, sir. I should go. I listened to your session. Thank you very much. Now let's do this. Now let me tell you why this session is important. I'm first going to tell you something that happened to me in 2019, and then I'll walk you through what you must do to ensure you avoid what I did. In 2019, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation invited me to New York, USA, for an event. It's called the Goalkeepers Initiative. What happened was they selected very few leaders scattered across Africa, right, and invited them for a 3 to 4 days conference in New York. And we had lots of meetings, lots of networking, lots of conversations about promoting sustainability in Africa and different thematic areas. Just such an incredible time. In one of the sessions, Aliko Dangote. Now, he was sitting right there, right in front of me, and I knew, I said, God Almighty, I thank you, Lord, I thank you for this day. If I cannot meet the richest man in Africa, who is from Nigeria, I'm going to meet him in New York, and I will definitely leave a lasting impression. That's what I thought. Super easy. So when he was done speaking, I walked straight to him and introduced myself. Hello, sir. My name is Lamide Johnson. I work with Ventures Platform as engagements. Such an honor to see you, sir. He looked at me like, yo, how are you? I said, hello, now Kwana, Gejia. And because I speak a little Hausa, I wanted to create some level of rapport. And when I was done, he was like, what do you do? And I said, yeah. So we do investments. I was just talking. I had read a book at the time by Clayton Christensen and Efosa Ojomo. And there was a theory and a concept in the book that was really interesting to me at the time. It's about the concept of the mass market. I won't talk about now. But I spoke to him about it, and he just says to me, so can you just talk to my assistant? And he walked away. And the assistant looked at me and just said, we'll talk later. And he walked away. That's the beginning and the end of my conversation with Aliko Dangote. No lasting impression, no further conversation, end of progress. I thought he was going to help the man from Nigeria. I thought that I was going to leave this man with something to take away, but I made a mistake. I made a critical mistake in the book's stories. I made the mistake of stories, right? And just simple. Most times, people see the achievements they've made officially, and so they keep it and they hold it and they never speak about it. Now, listen, if you, like me, grow up in an environment where they tell you to keep quiet and don't speak too much and be humble, humility. They teach you to be humble with your dreams, be humble with your achievements. And so you are waiting for somebody else to toot your horn. If, like me, you would never walk to a media or a PR company to tell them to speak about certain milestones you have hit. If, like me, you never like to talk about what you do and the many amazing things you've done. No. Why? Because you don't even think they are amazing enough. You don't think they are worthy of being told. And so you are scrolling on Instagram and somebody suddenly speaks about something he or she is doing. And you're like, how are they talking about this thing? I've done way more than this. I've done way more than this, and this person is talking too much, but the person is going miles and you aren't. The person is being invited to speak at major events and you are not. The person is winning awards and you are not. The person is making the money you should make and you are not. Why? Because you don't speak about it. And so today, I want to explore 8 different things you need to do to ensure that the stories you tell help you move the pin in your career development. I've been working for the past 12 years, and I must say that the only reason I have been able to move from A to B is because of the stories I have told. Let me give you some context. Let me give you some context. Listen, I left the university in 2011 with a degree in fisheries and wildlife. They sentenced me from the university to a farm. Let me give you some further context so you understand exactly what I'm trying to say. In 2009, when I was going for my industrial attachment, it was for 6 months, and they divided it into 2. 3 months was going to be spent in a fish farm, and 3 months in a wildlife facility. So the first place they sent us to was the wildlife facility. I was sent to Odoyo National Park in Shepeteri, Oyo State. 3 months in the wild with baboons and the wild. No money. Looking at taxonomy and naming plants and animals. And I would look at the plant and say, yo, this is Spendiphorus xylosicus. I just said nonsense because I've forgotten everything I studied there. And then after then, I spent 3 months in fish. And I was telling myself, okay, well, since I don't really like this wildlife thing, maybe the fisheries will be better. And so I got to a fish farm in Kuje local government in Abuja at the time. And when I was done in 3 months, the man called me and said, you're such a brilliant young man. Every single day you spend time coming here. That's amazing. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you for your service to Nigeria. And I said, thank you so much, sir. Sir, you say you pay me a stipend when I'm done. I said, yeah. And he reached under his desk and brought out 3 crates of eggs. He gave me eggs as my payment. Eggs as my payment for working for 3 months, for going to an office every single day. For 3 months, he gave me 3 crates of egg. When I got home, I was carrying the eggs, and my father would look at me like, was so happy. Like, wow, you bring something home. This is good. Was it part of your salary? I'm like, no, sir, this is all the salary. He looked at me and said, hey, my first son. My first and only son. Every day, you went to work, you finished, and you brought egg. And, I didn't understand the gravity of what was happening until I tried to convert the egg to money. At that time, egg was 450 naira per crate. Let me explain. 450 naira per crate. So it means, I need my calculator for this. So 3 crates of eggs, 450 naira times 3 is 1,350 naira. That was my value in 2009. 2009. That was my value. And that was what they had sentenced me to. And look, this is such a very important topic for me, and it's really personal. And most times when I'm speaking like this, I prefer not to talk about myself. I prefer to talk about other people because I don't want the spotlight to be on my story. But permit me to do this because I need to help a few people here today, right? 2009, my earning potential was 1,350, 450 naira per month. If I worked for 4 weeks, divided by 4, 112 naira per week. And then divided by 5 days I went, 22 naira, 22.5 naira per day was my earning potential in 2009. That was what I was worth to somebody because I had a certificate in fisheries and wildlife. So I told myself, nope, not gonna happen. The stories I will tell about myself will not be one of being a fisherman. No, I don't want to be sentenced to it. I don't want to be. And so I'm going to show you 8 things I did to take myself from that level to having been someone who has worked with international organizations, the federal government, lots of startups, and have a personal brand for myself. What have I done? Number 1. Sorry, let me get my notes. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The first thing, images are powerful. Ha. Images are powerful. I'm going to be talking about 8 solid things. I hope you're writing. Images are powerful. You are what is in front of you. Write it down. I am what is in front of me. Look, the things you place in front of you end up being who you are. Look, you cannot go past what you see. You can't. No matter how hard you want to try, you can't go past what you see. And so while I was doing my IT, the reason why I was gravitating towards agriculture was because everything I was seeing around me was agriculture. My father had a farm, he had a poultry farm. My daddy said, where I'm from, we are farmers. We are farmers, and that we are blessed farmers. And so if we go into farming, we are going to be blessed. And so I just gravitated towards farming because that was what was in front of me. And so listen, something phenomenal happened. When I was doing my National Youth Service call, I was posted to Society for Family Health, a international non-profit organization. And I was sent there. And when I entered the building, from the security post, everything was so tight. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. We got in the air conditioning, ACs, everywhere, computers, desktop computers. This was 2011. And I was looking at everyone, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is such an amazing place. But something in my head told me, this is not for you, Lamide. I'm like, no. I think I want to do this. And the thing told me, said, you are meant to be in a farm. Because the image I had in front of me was one of fish farming. That was all I saw. For 5 years in the Federal University of Technology, Akure, everything I studied was fish farming. Claras Garipinos. Catfish. That was, and I don't even eat fish. That was annoying. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. I don't eat fish. I don't like fish. But I saw it so much that the thing told me, you are not meant to be here. And I walked to the HR and I told the HR, I said, look, ma'am, please, can you write me a rejection letter? And she looked at me and she said, are you sure, Olamide? Like, yes, I cannot be here. She said, are you sure? Do you want to go back and think about this? I said, no, I've thought about it. I cannot be here. Write me a rejection letter. She wrote me a rejection letter at my request. Why? The image I had in my head was too powerful. And I started looking for a fish farm. 2011. I started looking for a fishman. Look, the stories you will tell are the stories of the image you see. Your life is channeled because of the stories you see. The image is right in front of you. Images are powerful. And so one day, after I've struggled and I looked for a fish farm that could pay me 30,000 I didn't find, I was going back home and I was praying. I was telling the Lord, I was like, I want a place to work. Help me. And he asked me a question. He said, what do you want? Guess what? I started telling God an image of Society for Family Health, a place I rejected. I was telling him the image of what I wanted. I will tell you very clearly. I said, I want a place where I'm given a laptop and a desktop. I want a place where I have Wi-Fi and not an internet dongle. I want a place where the chair is a swivel chair that can move around. I want a place where there are drivers and drivers will take me around to wherever I want to go to. And he says to me, okay, that's what you get. Well, I got it in less than 3 weeks. But my point is this. The only reason I was able to change my story was because I was introduced to a new image. Though I rejected that image, it remained etched somewhere in my mind. And so when I was asked, I knew exactly what I wanted. Why? Images are powerful. I got a placement with the African University of Science and Technology. And I started working with them for my youth service corps and 3 years after. Why? Images. Look at the person sitting next to you, for those of you in the hall, and say, what are your images? Number two. Networks are powerful. Last week, I was in London and I met Blessing for the first time. I met Blessing. Now listen, let me tell you something phenomenal that happened last week. When Blessing saw me and things were happening, she said to me, Lamide, how come you know almost everybody here? And that stayed with me because I kept on introducing Blessing to other people, right? Other networks, people from DCMS, the FCDO, from Google, like international people from South Africa, the UK, the US. I kept on introducing her to the people I knew already. And she didn't know when she said to me, Lamide, how come you know everybody here? The truth is, I am so intentional with my network. I choose my network. Your network is the springboard to your career growth. Without having and paying attention to your network, you cannot grow. And when you are with a network, two things must happen. Number one, you must tell them your story. Number two, you must listen to and understand their story. Because stories are the fastest way to create rapport with your network. So, everything Blessing told me when I met her last week, I still remember it today. Why? Because I was listening to her stories. And I'm sure that the things I told Blessing, the stories I told her, she would also remember them. I literally went into the network and wrote down this type of stories I would tell. Okay, I'll tell the story of working on my coursework while traveling from Loughborough to London. Story 1. 2. I'll tell the story of relocating to the UK and how tough it was. Story 3. I'll tell the story of resigning from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Story 4. I'll tell this literally writing the stories down. Intentionality is all that makes the difference. All that makes the difference. So if you want that to happen, then you need to do it. I knew Blessing. I was introduced to Blessing Abeng through Selem King, the troublemaker right there. Okay. Now we have harassed him very much. We have harassed him very much, and we're just mutual friends online, right? But now we're becoming fantastic friends. Why? Network and stories. Number 3. I'm rushing. I'm sorry, I have to rush. I'm 17 minutes in. Number 3. Are you with me? Are you with me? If you're with me, just say Lamide. Just go on. Just put it in the comment section. Lamide, go on. I'm with you. I'm with you, Lamide. Go on. Number 3. Books are powerful. Books are powerful. Books are powerful. Let me explain why books are powerful. Books are your escape. Books are your escape to a new reality. Books are your escape to a new reality. Look, you can have a life you are not happy with. But when you read a book, you begin to imagine the life you want. Do you understand me? Are you getting me right now? Do you understand? Remember when we were kids, when we were teenagers and young people, and all the books and the fantasies we read, all those things we were reading, there was such a beautiful escape out of where we were to a new reality. It helped us with our imaginations. But right now, we have stopped imagining things because the attention span we have is getting very, very reduced. For some of you, you're listening to me and you're distracted, very distracted. You've gone on WhatsApp, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You've done plenty things, or you're doing something else and listening to me speak because you just your mind just wanders on its own. You think it is the devil. It is not. It is you. Why? Because you have not trained your mind to stay. You say, "Oh, I cannot focus on this book. When I'm reading this book, I'm just jumping lines. I'm jumping lines." But when you are on Instagram, you're not jumping lines. So you're not jumping lines. You are following the story into 2. When you read books, you train your mind to imagine. I was coaching somebody 2 weeks ago, and I was asking the person to visualize something in her business, and she could not visualize it. And I asked her, "When last did you read?" And she said, "Oh, Lamide, I've stopped reading. It's really, I don't have time to read." And I said to her, "The reason why you can't visualize is because you have stopped reading." Yeah, I said it. It is not the devil, it's you. You are the cause of the stronghold. You're your problem. You're your problem. Stop it. Stop it. Read book. Read. You think you're reading because you're consuming information. Wait, I'll get there. But the first fundamental reason you're reading is because you are helping your mind to be able to visualize and escape from your reality into another one. That's what you're doing. You're training your mind to live your own reality, to be able to be in somebody else's. And so when you are in a network event, for instance, you're communicating to somebody. When the person is talking, you cannot process it very well, right? And digest and retain, because you can't even picture what the person is saying or going through. You can't do it because your mind is not trained. So you're just nodding. I get it. But you did not get it. Stop lying to yourself. You did not get it. Because you could not see, you could not paint the pictures. Anybody who would succeed in any career are people who can paint. You can paint, you can visualize it, you can paint the pictures, you can see yourself in 5 years and have a clear description and say, this is what's going to happen, this is exactly how it's going to be, this is what I want. You can see it and you can tell that story vividly. I need to run. Hush. 21 minutes. Oh my goodness. Number 4, mentors are powerful. Mentors are powerful. Listen, I have very few mentors that I have personal contact with, but I have a lot of mentors that I don't have contact with. The only contact I have with them are from their products, but very few mentors that I have very personal contact with, because mentorship would accelerate your career. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it to you so you get it, but I'll try. Listen, you can either decide to stumble, okay, or you can decide to be led. The people who stumble are those who say to themselves, I want to figure this thing out myself. I just go through this thing myself, right? For those who are led, literally ask for help. And so, listen, if you want to drive a car, why do you go train? Why do you go learn to drive a car? Why? I used to pride myself in the sense that, oh, my mom taught me to drive, but most of my driving lessons, I got it from GTA. That's a lie. Right? Maybe I just learned the risk in driving from GTA, but my mom taught me how to drive. I wouldn't have gotten into a car and driven myself without being trained to drive. So, if you want to be successful in a certain career, why are you not asking for mentorship? Do you want to tell me why? If you want to transition from whatever career you have into a tech career, why are you not looking for mentorship? If you want to be a fantastic product designer, why are you not asking for mentorship? Why are you not looking for somebody who is doing great in that career at this time? Listen, for so long, when I got into the UK, I looked for a new niche of a career path I want to explore, and the person who I'm speaking with in that career path is currently at about £100,000 per year. And so he has been my mentor since I got here. I've not started applying for jobs. I'm not, because I have one. So I'm not ready. But I've been looking at him. Last week, I got into an event and somebody asked me, what do you want to earn? And I told him, I said, I want 100K per year. And he said to me, I think you should double that or make it like 250. I'm like, what? He said, you can earn 250K very easily. I said, per year. She said, yes. He said, I took my calculator. I converted it to Naira. I said, my brain has not reached there. I've not been able to see it yet. And he said to me, that's what I'm telling you. Now he's not my mentor. Because he has gotten there. I cannot struggle and be stumbling when somebody has gotten there. And so in the past 1 week since I met him, he has sent me 2 job opportunities within that band. Apply for this. Mentorship. Number 5, failures are powerful. Salem King, I have not stopped converting to Naira. I have bills in Nigeria. Number 5, failures are powerful. Failures are powerful. For people who are storytellers, they say to themselves, I can only tell stories about my successes and things I've done well. No. Tell stories about your failure. So some man came to us and told us that he didn't wear shoes when he was a child. He was walking around wearing shoes. He told us he studied zoology. Is it zoology or botany or something? Zoology. He told us that. Stories of failure. What did you people do? Sorry, what did we do? We voted him in as our president because he told us he did not have shoes. Powerful story. Solid story. We hear the stories of great men, hear the stories of Steve Jobs, hear the story of Elon Musk. Have you heard all their failure stories? They're powerful. You need to store your stories. If you don't store them, how do you tell them? How do you remember them? How are you going to remember them? So all your failures, walk through them, enjoy it, bask in it, because you're going to tell them. Look, when I got into the UK, I had a rough patch. It was really hard because I'm not used to this calm. It's too calm. Very annoying. Very, very calm life here. So it was very boring for me, and I was just struggling with it. And while I was going through it, and I was talking to one of my mentors, Coach Sam. Oh, my wife is on this call. I need to choose my words carefully. So I was talking to him and I was telling him, I'm thinking that, I should come to Nigeria to just do a coaching, a speaking session. Let me do a speaking gig. Is it possible you get me a speaking gig so I can come to Nigeria? I'll give my wife the excuse that, I have something to do in Nigeria because I just want to go away from this place for like 1 or 2 weeks to go and breathe Nigerian air, then I'll come back. And while I was thinking about it and going through the process, one of the things the Holy Spirit told me was that, look, this thing you are in, you better calm down and go through it. Because you're going to talk about this experience. And so you need to document those failures because they're all going to flip. And even if they don't flip, it's fine. It's fine if they don't flip. You have something to talk about because you're a better person, a stronger person, and can definitely tell those stories. So here's what I do. When I'm ready to start looking for job opportunities, what I'm going to do is simple. I'm going to be applying almost every day. Because I'm going to apply to people, right? I estimate I'll apply to maybe in 3 months and apply every day. So that's about 800 companies. And I'm going to have several interviews. And I'm going to lock down my 200K. Do you get what I'm going to? And so if I'm going to get 99 people to say no, 1 person will say yes. And if out of the 100, nobody does, I'll make it 200 applications. Do you get it? Do you understand? Because those people who are rejecting me just make my story better, sweeter, nicer. And it encourages everybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, hard things are powerful. Hard things are powerful. We live in a world now where people want to do easy things. Easy, nice, calm, fast money. But not all of us will do fast money. Not all of us. Some of us, we go and work in career, and we hustle in entrepreneurship. Some of us will do this. Not all of us will understand NFT. Do you understand? Like, I'll just look and give them one picture now. Like today, I took a video of a cat that is disturbing me. The cat was just eyeing me. So I don't take it now. And I'll put it somewhere and I'll sell it. I don't understand it. Or crypto, I don't get it yet. Forex, I have never gotten it. My brain is only thinking addition and multiplication and subtraction. I don't understand this analysis. I don't get it yet. But the thing is, you definitely need to find hard things to do. Because everybody wants to go the easy way out. Very few people will choose the hard things. Do you get it? So you need to, at every stage in your life, tell yourself, am I in my comfort zone? Like, it should be a measurement. Am I in my comfort zone? Yes or no. If you are becoming too comfortable, get out. That's it. So you have to do hard things that are hard, that are tough. That's what you need to select to do every time, because those things are what are tellable. Those are the stories that are tellable, the hard things. Have you figured out everything I've said and all the stories I've shown you today? Those are tough things. Tough, real tough things. And so the tellable stories are the hard stories. They were tough experiences. When I was resigning from a job in December, they asked me if I was okay. They asked me if I was okay. Who does this? You want to resign and go back to school? School for what? Listen, I was told, look, Lamide, you don't need to go to school because you need to understand that we received over 600 applications for this role. You have no need to leave. There was no resume that could match yours in Nigeria for this role. Your academic qualification is sufficient enough. I said to them, but I have fisheries. She said, but fisheries is just BTech. You have an MBA. You went to Lagos Business School. You went to Keller School of Management, Northwestern University, Illinois, USA. What else are you looking for? I said, there are two people I'm seeing. Number one, Akinwumi Adesina, who is the president of the ADB. Number two, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the director general of WTO. I said, these two people, when they were getting this position, they scrutinized their lives and they brought them out. I said, none of them, these fisheries and wildlife. None of them. And I don't want people to give me a job because I'm just good. Me, I want to have a solid academic qualification that nobody can gainsay that I do not merit this role. So at 32, I will go back to school and send myself to the school that my father promised me that he will send me to. And I will get a second master's degree, and if possible, a PhD. Why? Because I am gunning to be a technocrat. I want to lead the World Bank. my vision is clear. It's clear. By the time I'm 45, I want to sit in such a high position. It's clear. So this 4 years I'm sacrificing to build on this academic qualification that I cannot just get anywhere will make all the difference. It's a hard thing. It's a hard choice. But can you see it's a story? And so every paper I'm writing, everything I'm doing, I'm at it consistently. Why? It is a story that is being built. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. The stories you tell yourself are powerful. I'm almost done. The stories you tell yourself are powerful. What stories do you tell yourself in your career? Do you always second guess yourself and tell yourself that you're not the best person to do the job? I'm saying this because the stories you tell yourself are reflected in the stories you tell other people. In fact, the stories you tell yourself are reflected in your performance at work. Please write it down. Write it down. I want someone to write it down. Please, when you are doing the quotable quotes, I want you to put it. The stories you tell yourself are reflected in your performance. Lamide Johnson, in brackets, 2022. Close brackets. Stop. If you tell yourself you're not going to be a high flyer, you won't be a high flyer at work. If you tell yourself that you're going to make the deal, you will make the deal. If you have a target and you tell yourself, I'm going to hit the target, you will hit the target. That's how it works. We train our mind to do this thing. Look, human beings, we are naturally pessimistic. Naturally pessimistic. We tell ourselves what we cannot do. When I got into school and I saw how it was, the school here is different from Nigeria. So I told myself, there's no need to aim for a distinction. I think I should just aim for, let me just be okay, right? Let me just be okay. I can play between C and B because I cannot kill myself. I'm a married man with 2 children and I'm thinking of everything. My life is complicated. I'm not like those 22-year-old in class. Those are different. That was the story I told myself. By the time my first result came to 67, when I told my wife to 67, she looked at me and she said, the person that hit 67, this same person can get 72. I said, hey. I said, Lamide, I just need you to believe that you can get a distinction. I said, baby, I don't want to be under pressure. She said, just tell yourself you can do it. I said, okay, I can get a distinction. I can try to get a distinction. My second result came in 72. The last one I saw, 78. Why? It was what I told myself. I'm doing a course now. I've been writing all morning. And while I was doing, I was just telling myself, this course, I'm still like a 76. Like, because I'm so excited about the course. And I'm telling myself that this thing is possible. Oh. Lastly, data is powerful. Data is powerful. Look, you can go and tell all the stories in your career to the world, to your audience, tell them, and you have no data to back it up. They will catch you. They will catch you. They will catch you. And they'll lose trust. So what do? You document it. How do you document? 3 things. I'll start from my least favorite documentation. If Salem King is still on the line, he's going to take a stone and throw it at me. Number 1, pictures. Document with pictures. Please, everybody, make sure you have paid for Google. What is it? Google One or something? Right? Google Suites, OneDrive, whatever it's, Apple Cloud, whatever it is. Make sure every picture you're taking is backed up somewhere in the cloud. All right? Don't lose them. Number 2, videos. Okay? Number 2, videos. Just store it in videos, conversations, whatever it is. For instance, right, if I come talk about Dangote, I'm meeting Dangote and blah, 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 and I don't have a picture or a video about it, that's crazy. Thankfully, somebody took a picture of me while I was speaking to Dangote. So I have that picture and I've kept it. It's in the drive, somewhere in the cloud. It can't be missed. So if I talk about it, I can back it up with a picture because people believe that's more. Okay? And my best and most favorite documentation is through writing and journaling. Okay? It's through writing and journaling. You need to store your stories through journaling. Where's my journal? Here is mine. Right? Journals. It's like the antique, the way this one looks antique. I write there once in a while. And I just document some things I don't want to ever forget. And my phones, I use it to write a lot. I write everything down. Somebody wrote something. I said, Lamide, you're a painter, because I have to write it. The only reason I can talk like this is because I wrote it down. Oh, every single thing I spoke about today, I wrote them down. So store the stories through journaling, write them down. And that data is powerful because you're going to use them years from now. This video that we just did now should definitely be on YouTube because we need them. I need that data. I need to refer back to this when I'm leading the World Bank or some big conglomerate. It's going to happen. And I need to refer back to this time when I was talking about it. That is the data. So let's do a quick recap. Okay. Number 1, images are powerful. Number 2, networks are powerful. Number 3, books are powerful. Number 4, mentors are powerful. Number 5, failures are powerful. Number 6, hard things are powerful. Number 7, the stories you tell yourself are powerful. And lastly, data is powerful. Thank you very much. Happy to receive any questions.
Any other? Okay. Two and the last person. Okay, we just. All right, let's have a question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon Lamide. My question is actually in the area of mentorship. You mentioned having close mentors and then people wherever. So my question is, what if like in a case where you actually find someone you really want the person to be your mentor, and the person has actually gone so far, and there is what? Okay. Like this person you want to mentor, are there cases where the person that you want to mentor you would reject you? Like, are there cases like that? That's the first question. And then the next one is, what about gaining access to these mentors? Like someone that has actually gone for, let me use you as an example. You are there and I'm here, and maybe I know you somehow, or you know me, but I actually want that close mentorship. How do I gain access to that?
Did you get that question, sir?
Got it. Got it. That's a really brilliant question. Now, have you ever been rejected by mentors? Yes, but not directly, but subtly, right? I want to be close to somebody. I tried my best, and boom, it didn't happen, right? So it does happen. And what have I done instead? I've designed a framework for mentorship in my head. Mentorship doesn't have to be close. You don't need to be close to your mentors. And so I permit people to mentor me from afar off. Did you see my use of word? I permit it because I had to flip the coin, right? I have to flip the coin. Can I permit you into my life? Can I permit that mentor into my life? So what do I do instead? I allow this mentorship to happen from afar off. Technology has made everything very different now, right? Very different. And so instead of having a mentor that I'm like close to and we're talking every single time, in fact, as a matter of fact, I don't have any of such mentor. Do you get it? I don't have any of such mentor, right? These people are far off, and it's fine. And so when I say afar off, what does it mean? It means I follow you on social. It means I buy your product. It means I'm a member of your community. That is all the mentorship I need. And it's okay. For those period where I need personal one-on-one support, I either pay for it. For instance, I believe a lot in therapy. So Sam Obafemi helps me when we talk about therapy, right? Fun also helps me in that regards when I talk about things that affect me emotionally. Those are my mentors for that. For instance, for my marriage, I have mentors for my relationship with my wife because there are things I don't understand about the woman. And there are things I don't understand about parenting and the kids. And so I need to understand them. And so first I paid for certain courses, and then I got into sessions with the mentor, personal sessions that I've paid for. I got the clarity I need. And now all I'm doing is buying books to augment the information I already have. I'm just trying to check. Okay, yeah. I've been checking for mentorship for kids here in the UK. I've gotten a few. I've reached out to them to buy their product, but I went ahead to buy books. Look at this book, for instance, How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. Because I can't be shouting here. Can't shout to children. They report you. They report you. So you can't shout. If you're not in Nigeria, you can't spank. You can't shout. You need to talk with sense. And so I'm looking for mentorship for that to happen. So what my point here is, people think you need to be chatty and close. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. Everybody who's my mentor today, I don't talk to them every day. You don't need to. All you need is book sessions if you need, pay for it. You know what? Listen, this is coming very powerfully to me. I feel goosebumps. Sometimes you need to pay your way into mentorship. Pay your way into mentorship. When I say pay, it doesn't just need to be with money. It can be with your time. It can be with service. Trisha Bees is my great friend. Trisha is my mentor. Do you know how we got there? She just announced, Abuja, I'm going to be in Abuja, blah, 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 blah. Sharp, sharp. I said, can I come and pick you up from the airport, ma? No, don't worry. I have a driver picking me up. I said, don't worry. I can do it. I'll go there. I'll carry her. Take her to a hotel. Wait. Take her to our meeting. Wait. Take her to the next meeting. Wait. Go back to my house. My wife will be looking at me. How far? You don't start this your waka waka. I say, yes, so baby. Because I have to enter into her network. I need it. I need it. Say, okay, continue. When Trisha is going back to Lagos, I'll say, don't worry, I'm around. 5 a.m. I'm serious. 5 a.m. I've woken up. I've gone to pick her up. Boom. I've taken her to the airport. Hey. My sister, my brother. She has introduced me to most of our network people. There's nobody I need in Trisha's circle that I won't get. Nobody. Why? Today, me and Steve Harris, we are chatting. Do you know how many times I picked Steve Harris from the airport? Do you know? I'm paying my way. Do you know how many of the birthday of Steve's daughter? Birthday. I'll say, Steve, please send me her account number. I don't want your account. People of God, it's not plenty money. It's 5K, 10K. 3 weeks ago, one of my mentors, his child was having a birthday. He just put his wife was one that posted. He didn't even post it. I didn't go to his wife's DM. I went to the husband's DM. I said, bros, I say your baby, would you? It's a 3rd year birthday. Send me her account number. I want to freak your account. He was just laughing. I said, don't worry, it's not plenty, but just manage it. Just hold it. 10K. That's all. 10K. Tell me if that might have deal, you won't think of me. Pay your way into it. Pay your way into it. When Steve wrote his book, Oniwa Awipo, I asked him to send me 20 copies. That I'm going to sell it. He sent it to me. I took 20 copies. I kept it in Abuja. I was selling it for him. When the money was complete, I packed the money. I sent it to Steve Harris. I pay my way into mentorship. Join communities. Sam Obafemi has this community. The community is 2 big communities right now. One is for speakers, and the second one is for business people. Look, honestly, I don't need it. I'm doing an MBA. I've done an MBA. I'm currently doing a business course. I don't need it. However, I paid for the community because I needed access to him, consistent access to him. So I pay my way into it. The second question, access. I've responded to it while I was doing that. So pay your way into it. It gives you access, and you don't need to be in their face. Pay for their products. They have it for all the mentors you have. Listen to every single thing they have. Do it. There's a point I need to talk about before I let this go, and this is about your network. Sometimes you think that you need to be in already established networks. Okay, so for instance, one of the strongest French network I like is Salem King and his group. I like his network. So instead of coveting his network and trying to penetrate into their lives, create yours. So I'm saying this because the friends I have created 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we are still friends now. We are doing almost the same thing now. And people, some of us are getting placed into high places. Does that make sense? Is somebody getting it or you're not getting it? Are you getting it or you're not getting it? So we are entering into high places and we are making recommendations of our people into high places. I was contacted by an international organization. I won't mention their name, but it's huge, huge. They contacted me in February and asked me to come be a director for one of their products in Nigeria, in West Africa. And I was excited about it. And I told them I'm in the UK, so I'm not able to come to Nigeria at the moment. And they said, oh, we want somebody in Nigeria. Okay, you know what? Can you recommend somebody? I'm like, yeah. But first, before I recommend, how much is it? And they told me It is $12,000 per month. I said, okay, that's okay, no problem. And immediately, I just went to my mastermind group. I just said, guys, job available, 12K per month. This is the role. Who's interested? I got 2 people. Pew. I just sent it to them. One of them is getting the job. You know why? You know why? They're in my network. My own network. It's my network. And I created it from scratch. I'm joining that network from scratch. If all you need to look at is not the television they have now, don't go and look at the television they have. Look at the vision they have and ask them to come into your network. That's what you need to do. I hope you got that.
So much. Thank you so much. And if there's one thing that we can take from what all he has said, all his stories as the master storyteller that he is are relatable. We may not have read Fishery and all, but I can tell that many of us have similar experiences. And I know that by the end of today, moving forward, we'll bring out those stories that we have together. Those of people say, I. The eyes have it, like the knees. Hold on for a second. So, because of our time, we'll be wrapping up today. If you have more questions, you can roll them over till tomorrow. So, just before we wrap up for today, I would like to invite the convener of the program, none other than Mr. Joseph Etim. Please, can we put our hands together for him? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So,
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Did we enjoy the sessions? Were you inspired? Now, I'm not sure some of them are still watching, but I'll say this. Now, prior, I think it was 2 years ago, 2019. Before then, we used to have this connect session every week, like every Sunday, back to back, like every Sunday. We're doing stuff. Then there was one of my friends. She said to me, "You've been teaching people how to do personal branding. Like you help brands. I've worked with international organizations. I've helped them build visibility from scratch. Like you've been doing this stuff for people, but you're not known. Why? Did you hear what I said? She said you're teaching people, but nobody knows you. And before then, I didn't care about social media. Like I was teaching you how to use social media, right? Show up. I'll teach you how to show up, but me, don't worry, it's for them. Like let's help them stand out. Let's help them, do those stuff. But I didn't pay attention to myself, right? So now one of the things I want to say here is stop seeking self-validation to shine. There is something that John Obidi likes saying. He's going to be here tomorrow. He's in Abuja now. He's watching us right now, right? He's going to be here live tomorrow. One of the things he likes saying, and I love this, like this changed my perspective for life. He said, "You are not the light of your kitchen cupboard. You're not the light of Kubwa if you stay in Kubwa. You're not the light of Gwarimpa. You're not the light of Maitama if you live in Lagos. Some of you came from Lagos. You're not the light of Lagos, right? You're not the light of Nigeria. This is hacking skills and opportunities. How? Beyond borders. You're not the light of Nigeria. If you're not thinking global, it means you are thinking small, right? If your product can't buy attention of the global audience, you are not ready to dominate. So some of us, we're doing stuff and we don't care about the other nation. We're just doing stuff small. You are not ready. Bible, it was an instruction. You are the light of the world. It said, let your light what? So shine. It's a command. It means if you are not shining, you are doing what? You are disobeying. Some of you are so comfortable in your small space. I don't know, this thing is not for me. Some of you lie, you deceive yourself. That is your process. It's a lie. You are lazy. You are not ready for life. This thing, life is in phases. People are in stages. You are a liar. You are lazy. Lamide was talking about reading books. You've never read any book in your life. You want to be the next tech. Like, what does it take to be a startup? You are not ready. How many books have you read about tech? Some of you, this is the first time you are listening to Lamide, Blessing Abeng. This is the first time in your life and you want to be the next to shine. It's not possible. It's not possible. I started off as a graphic designer. See, I was living in Calabar. See, there was no flyer in Calabar except it was printed now that I did not pick. If I buy biscuit 10 naira, 15 naira, 100 naira, the pack, it will be in my bag. Pure water, bottled water, I'll remove the sachet, put it in my bag. If I go home until I do this, like if I don't design this thing, like replicate, I will not sleep. Some of you want to shine. Who are you understudying? I made a statement. You go into people's DM. Hello, hello. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Some of you, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. You don't know who is sitting next to you, right? We brought guests from all around, right? As some of you, you love Blessing Abeng so much, you love Lamide Justice so much, and you want to connect with them. Who do you think you are? You're going to their DM after now. Oh, sir. Hello, sir. I listen to you. What do you do? He should answer you. What do you do? I heard what you said. Where are you in the UK? Who are you? You are laughing, but some of you go and do it. I heard what you said about the mentor. Please, can you send me his face? Who do you think? Who are you? You deserve nobody's attention. Stop thinking you earn anybody's attention. You don't deserve my attention. You come into my DM, hello Joseph. I love what, like you come and talk like my father. We are being sincere here, right? I love what you do. You're doing well, and you're doing well for yourself. You're good. Well done. And listen to me. Since I started doing like stuff for young people, it's been sold out back to back. If I'm doing a training now, like it's sold out. Tomorrow, the ticket was 3,000. Started with 3,000. The next day I said, who? Ask people. 5,000. Now is some of you bought 7.5, right? Tomorrow is 10,000. Like if you go now, it's 10,000. But I bet you by tomorrow it may reach 20,000 because we are selling value. Some of you've sworn, if I ever pay to learn anything, let me die. How old is he? What has he achieved? They are trying to motivate us. What have we not heard? You've not see. I said something. See, if somebody can make $1,000, right? $5,000, $100,000, and if it's motivation that will help me make it, motivate me. Tell your neighbor, motivate me. Motivate me. Now, some of you don't understand what we're doing here, right? There's something that is called inspiration that some of you don't understand what it does. Right now, before now, I attended a conference. It was in a conference like this that I had the idea of Connect Conference. 2017, it was a free conference hosted by Timmy Tewe in Uyo. Steve Harris was there. Leto Bunking was there. Like Fela Durute was there. If you ask me now, what did they say? I can remember everything that Steve Harris said. I studied this guy. But I can't remember what the rest about. I remember this one. But what I'm trying to say is, I can't remember what they thought. Some of you now, whatever anybody said, you will not remember. But there's something that would take action. Connect Conference. I just said, I would like to do a conference. Then I didn't have the idea was not Connect Conference. Just started gingering, told my friends, they know me. If I say I will do something, I'll do it. Now we have done Connect Conference in Calabar, back to back. Now we're doing it in Abuja. The next one, we're taking it out. We're taking it out. And some of you think it's a joke. Just watch. He said it to inspiration. You've been inspired. Don't go back to those your friends. Some of my friends with secondary school, probably they're watching. The man can go see what they do. Is it not Joseph will be in the beat for class? Forget people's past. Honor what they have now. Some of you will be looking at me. How old is he? He should be 16. He's doing well for himself. 24. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Some of you think you are young. You're not ready. When I was 22, I thought I had all the time in my life. I wanted to take it easy. Don't take nothing easy. For me, prime time is what? Work time. Prime time is work time. You think you are young. You are not ready. You are not young. Some of you, I'm sorry, but you'll be 32, you'll be 35, you'll be 40. You are not young. This year, I'll be 30. This year. Imagine I was telling myself, I have time. Jesus Christ. There's no time. Prime time is work time. This is the time like you have this time to read books, like you can read 3 books in a week, 4 books like in a day. You can be bragging how you're reading books, how you're reading, how you're publishing stuff, how you're building apps. There's a time you just, that you have the passion, you have the zeal, but you'll be so busy. So many things would, you'll be wishing. Let's not go there, right? Let's not go there. What I'm trying to say is, like what they've said, find somebody that inspire you and stay there. Learn how to learn. You must what? Learn how to learn. Say that to yourself, I need to learn how to learn. I need to learn how to be mentored. Pay the price to be mentored. Some of you, you've sworn out, if I ever pay for any class, a class of 1,000 naira. Some of you, Coursera, all these online courses, you've never, even the free, you've not. But you want to be the next in that line. It's not possible. Some of you, I'm sorry, you're writing ebooks, you've never, you don't read books. There's a funny video I saw on YouTube one time, how to get 4 million followers in 4 days or whatever, all the stuff. The post was published like 4 years ago, 4 views. Yes, you can't give, you can't teach people what you don't, you can't give what you don't have. If Joseph has it, if Lamide has it, if forget the age, submit, learn. I'm not saying come to me, but I'm just saying decide to learn. Some of these things they've said, you have to listen over and over, and like you need to listen. The replays will be available, and I'm hoping, like this, I'm not preaching so that you'll be inspired or motivated to come and buy a replay. No. Some of you, it has to be a seed. Some of you, it has to be something that you say, I'm ready for the next level of my life. I'm ready. How many of you are ready for the next stage of your life? You're ready. Some of you, it's not prayer. We don't need to pray. No, this is not. No. Some of you need to leave some of your friends. Like you have been praying, Lord, change my life. You go back to your friends. It's like, light me up. You enter fire. You go back, your friends, water. Shh. Lamide inspired me. You go back, what? Shh. You can never shine. It's not possible. Did you learn anything today? We're trying to close early so that tomorrow, when we close late, you will not complain. And if you don't want to come tomorrow, don't come. You've paid, don't come. Don't come tomorrow. Tomorrow we're starting early. If you come early, we start early. If you don't like, don't come, but you've paid. Tomorrow we're starting by, arrival time here is 3 o'clock. Arrival time is 3 o'clock. We would go live by 4. So let's imagine from 3 to 4 what you would need if you come late. Some of you that came late, there was a workshop from what time? 2:30 to 3:30. We're going to continue online, right? So I would just beg us, if you're making, like I said something here. I said, we're not teaching you how to make shoes. It's beautiful. We're not teaching you how to bake cakes. It's good. Sell wigs, like, no. We're teaching you, how can I take my idea from just being local to global, beyond borders? How can somebody in UK send me a DM? How much is this? Do you have like dollar account? Like, how can I do this? Think big, like you're doing a business. How can you do partnership with somebody in Rwanda, somebody in Dubai, somebody outside? Stop calling your friend in Aba every time. Go and check how much is shoe. How much? This thing is 2x. Check, send somebody to go to the UK and bring things for you. Connect conference, this is day 1. Don't go back and enter water. Some of you, your friends will be mocking you on social media. Like, it's like, after Joseph I've said, you just say, I'm ready. You go on Facebook, social media, they say you shop, you're trying to shop. Some of your friends will come to your comment section. Some of you don't understand, your social media is your office. If you're my friend, I don't care how close you are to me. I type one serious post. You come and write rubbish. First, I'll delete it. I'll not send you a DM and say, why did you do that? I'll block you. It's my office. You don't come to somebody's office and you're beating their staffs. You don't do that. You don't come to somebody's office and you are like imagine what we're doing now. You go and off gen. It's true now. It's true. It's true. You got off gen. So that's what they do to you. The first post that was supposed to give you $1,000, somebody that knows you, your best friend, they went and off your gen. And that was the last time you came back. The social media this week, I'm taking over. You go and make one post. You don't start again. You don't start. You don't start. You don't start. You don't start. So you now go back and just console yourself. Maybe it's not yet my time. I will delete you. I'm on WhatsApp, right? On my WhatsApp, if you post nonsense, I mute you. Live your life. That's your dream. I have my dream. I need people that would inspire me to my next level. It doesn't matter their age. Like, pay the price for access. Learn how to learn. Learn how to learn. Don't come out. Some of you, they paid 5K for you. Some of you, it was giveaway. You came here. Don't waste this opportunity. You know, this said something once that changed my life. He said, poverty is the lack of the information that will change your life, right? Now you have the information. What would you do with it? What would you do with it? What would you do with it? Take action. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Ochodiayi. Thank you so much, man, for coming. Thank you so much for coming. There's a special guest here. Thank you so much, man, for coming. We have Isaac Daniel. Please, just put your hands together for him, please. He'll be giving us some tomorrow. Today is the one. This is not the main. This is not Connect Conference. Tomorrow is the main Connect Conference. Tomorrow is the main Connect Conference. So he will be performing live for us. Jonabidi will be here, like not virtual, online, live. He's seated here. He will speak like real human, not virtual reality. Right? He's going to be here live. So if you care about your friends, send the links to them. Help their life. Force them. Pay them to watch. I'll give you data. If you watch, I promise you 1,000. Screenshots. Show me, let me know that you watch. Pay for them to watch. You know why? Because in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, they'll come back to you and say, thank you. Thank you. If your friend can force you to go to somewhere and do something and drink, like they'll force you, you too force them. Pay them to learn. So that if you don't pay them to learn, that urgent 2K is you they'll come to. So teach them how not to come to you. See, some of you are so emotional. I'm not emotional. If you come to me and beg me for money, I'll ask you, we'll talk. Let's know this money, we'll talk. It's not me you come and, like, you create problems that come and solve. We'll talk. So that next time you will talk. We are all in this together. We'll talk. So please, follow us on Instagram, YPC Africa. Follow me on Instagram. I am Joseph Etim. We're on Facebook, Young People Connect Africa. That's where we connect. That's where we have our sessions. If you want to learn from us, if you want to, like some of the workshops we had, if you want to do like part 2, that's what we'll be sharing and all those updates and all those stuff. I'm really excited that we're doing this, right? I'm really excited. And I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's session. I'm hoping that we see you guys again. Send the links to your friends. Invite them. Let them pay the 10K that is tomorrow. You know, we have space. Don't look at this space. Tomorrow we'll create space. We'll create space, right? Did we waste your time? Should we do it again next year? Should we come back again next year? No, well, is hacking skills and opportunities what? Beyond borders. Next year we're going global. So if you want to join us to Dubai or any country of our choice, any country we're going to choose, start hacking these skills so you have money. So it's not when we say come and pay 5,000 for waiting they won't teach us again. Come to a point where the money is no more a problem. They say 5,000. Can I pay for two? $5,000 to go. Can I pay for 2? Not 5,000. People again. Now wow. Now come every time. Joseph again. We'll keep doing this. You know why? It's changing lives. We're seeing results. We're seeing testimonies. There are people here that will pretend like nothing happened. When they go back, they'll go and cry and say, Lord, they just go back. I'm ready now. Go back. Yeah. Pretend like he's not entering. Go back and cry. And tomorrow we're going to take it to the next level. So at this point, if you want to take pictures, you want to do your stuff, you want to take pictures, just, do it. Some of you now, I'm not trying to advertise YPC. Some of you, the reason for your next level is going to be because maybe you took a picture like behind the studios. This guy, you traveled to Abuja, you went for a conference. Wow, it's a global conference. Yeah, this is a global conference. Some people will start seeing in a different light. Do you understand? Some of you traveled, there are people that came from Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Lagos, Jos, where again, Kaduna. Take pictures so that when they see you, you've been in Abuja. Abuja is a beautiful town. It's a beautiful town. Let that be your global level, small. Let them start seeing you. You understand? Take pictures and do what? Post. It's not for YPC, but tag us. Tag YPC, #CC. Don't go and make it look like you created a conference, like you are the Oga. It's not your conference. It's not your conference. It's not your conference. Just shine small. tell the world that you are somewhere that, like, make it like, even though you know that somebody needs to mentor you for you to gain clarity and not go back again to your former ways. You know, some of us, sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm holding the mic and you guys have to listen. You know, some of us, the ego enough want to soar. Like, but the hippopotamus, the pig, want to stay in the mud. What I'm saying, you not understand now till I say it again. The ego in you want to fly, but there's a pig in you. It's not you, you're not here, you know. That no matter what they've said, let me, I'm just trying to say, take pictures. See, you don't know, the problem is some of you assume, you judge people by how you see them. You don't know who's standing next to you. Take picture with them. Collect their Instagram handle. It's when you now go to the Instagram, you now say, Jesus. I'm serious. There are meetings I go for, nobody, like, I'm sitting close, they don't know me. It's when they're not going, and I did not, So people are laughing like they're nobody. Till you go to their page, you know, it's connect. Snap with them, post it, request them, tag them. So that in case they blew in future, I know him, we're together. Now, this is where the lesson is. Learn to honor people. Young people that are arrogant, ignorant. Learn to honor people. Be humble. It doesn't matter where you get to. Success is a journey. It's a journey. So much that when we're in school, I'll share this the last story, I promise. When we were in school, it was more like, who is this Joseph? Like, I was the guy that would just come to class, there's no lecture, I'll carry my bag and I'll go back. This one is not a serious student, but it's more like, for me, I knew what I wanted in school. I'm not a first class, I didn't graduate first class, right? But I knew I was going, right? Now the client I work with international, I did try. So it's not about, don't look at yourself and say, but all what they've said, I had third class, I had first class, sorry, but I dropped out. No, there is still an opportunity for you. But would you be humble enough to try again? Would you be humble enough to try again? It doesn't matter what the mistake is. It doesn't matter. Who can mentor me? What can I try? What can I start? What can I give up? Because whatever you give up now can become your miracle. Whoever you leave now can become your deliverance. You know, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And I'm hoping that the one tomorrow will be a fantastic time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much.
Please can put our hands together for this. This was a session on its own. Do you agree? Yeah. Wow. So much. Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you so much.
And let's not forget, Joseph will be speaking tomorrow.
Yes, he will be speaking. This was just a warm up for what he will do tomorrow. So just before we go, I want to appreciate one of our partners, and they're called Remo Start. And what they do is that they help SMEs and startups find remote work. So if you're a remote worker, you know what I mean now. You work remotely, just go to their website.
You don't like meeting people. That's another.
That's the interpreter. If you're a remote worker, right, you'd like to work remotely, you can go to www. How many W's did I mention? Because I remember that time. Three. www.remostats.com. Let me spell it. I'm not spelling the W, please. www.remostats.com. Remostats.com. If you're a remote worker and you want to work and find out about them, just go to that website. So thank you so much. I think the vocabulary of the English language is finite at this point. So we'll reduce it to 2 simple words. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow,
you,
right?
and let's connect to you tomorrow. So for many of us who are just visiting Abuja for the first time, there are interesting sites and places to visit. You can go to ShopRite, you can go to the Magic Land, just so that you can, paint the picture you want to. Sure, we understand this thing.
But carry your money or
just carry your Abuja. Please. I mean, you get the snap pictures, please. You came to Abuja. It's it's an achievement.
All right.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening.
Tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
please connect. Some of us, you meet your life partner here, so please do not connect. Improve your net worth, improve your network. Please connect. Say hello to someone. Good to see you. I'm sure you learned what we took of the
Exchange
meeting.
numbers.
Exchange numbers.
Exchange bank account details if you're led.
Pay your way to mentorship. So you can decide to get someone's bank account and pay your way to mentorship.